Platinum chains and rings. Oh.
Westside BBC. Westside BBC. I takes a look at myself, I likes what I'm seeing. I'm far from conceited, just a fly human being. I dress, talk, and smell as if I want the world. Learn to steal and that's real once it attracts the girls. My sunshine spent time, margarita twisted with lime. Half baked in these DC streets, and if you can't stand the heat, ain't got to tell you about the kitchen. Sin City living, how you twigging and itching. Stealing for a living, cause the city, the frequency's a hell of a stench. The city raised the Grinch, taught him how to steal, land both sides of the fence. Gave him a gun and told the rabbit to have fun, not just counties, boundaries, mountains, time zones, 41 states cripped in, 15 cripped in, and look at me mama, I'm still dipping, rest till I die, nigga try me, fuck a IV, they got 48 hours to find me, burn the whole crime scene, and all they know is he smoke good greens, and live by all means, with the heart of the whole team, you think it's easy to flip, from sugar to shit, smoke up the scene and burn rubber and weed with it, designed for the 3 energy in it, east side, you see the West LV represent, explicit. And if y'all think I came to talk pimp shit, bitch, you got me twisted. It's 3ANGSTA period, and I just look like this. I tell them I just look like this. And Lord knows I ain't never been a punk about shit. I live the G-code where most of y'all niggas just talked it. Kicked in doors and pimped hoes, where the G's at, cause this ain't the Lancey Street. Please believe that. Cause fucking with me, you get P shit, G shit, West Side 3 shit on 1P, bitch. My rock and roll lock and load, and ain't no bluffing. When them niggas talking loud and ain't saying nothing. But I kick the type of shit that can break a bitch. Like a thief, anything I want, I'm taking it. Out of control, rock and skate with it. Left side, and Lord know I ain't no faking it. I took my game from the streets and jump states with it. Game remain the same, although the name changed cause they face strange. And if I got the gang bang, I burn rubber and weed and lead this bitch right now, man. From blue rags to tracks with hoes that attract tricks and jack dick. That's how it crack, bitch. Think it's a game, it's a fact, bitch. Fucking with Tone P, I'll get your bitch ass blasted up.
Wanna see my cars on flatbed. Hey, this is a recession, selling that crack, yeah. Niggas selling super one bionic glue, and got Superman powers when I'm stretched new. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. John Dillinger shit. Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. John Dillinger shit. Niggas in the hood wanna see my cars on flatbeds. Hey, this is a recession, selling that crack, yeah. Niggas selling super one bionic glue, and got Superman powers when I'm stressed new. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga.
afternoon, Grand Risings. Grand Risings. I am your host, Chan Krummer, of Frontline Black News. This is season 2, episode 44, part 2 of the Frontline Black News. And we will be joined with our West Coast correspondent here shortly, Shabaka Sankori. Shout out to Shabaka and Lady Che. Should be joining us here shortly. So, in the meantime, I'm going to play another clip while we're waiting on them to get in. All right. Thank y'all to everybody that came out today for the 8th annual Marcus Garvey Day. We could not put this on without you. So give yourselves a round of applause.
Yes.
So I have an announcement to make. First of all, my name is Jesse Paris, otherwise known as Chan Krummer. I've been down with Sankofa for the past 8 years. We've been putting this event on in this very park for the past 8 years. And I have announced my candidacy for mayor. So for those that don't know, there's a big election next year in April 4th of 2023. And I am one of the candidates that's running for mayor of Denver, Colorado for the 2023 election. So I'm a black grassroots candidate.
It's official.
I'm going to put black people's interests first. And I'm going to do specifically for black people. So I just want to give you a little rundown of what my campaign is going to be all about. First of all, redirecting the aim for us, because everybody else's priorities have been met but us. So we need somebody that's in office that's going to do something specifically for us. The malign neglect has to end. We're demanding something tangible for our vote, period. So I just want to let y'all know, I got realistic time frames, tangible ideas specifically for black Denverites. I'm working on a plan of service to the city for the unhoused, elderly, youth, single parents, recently incarcerated, in rehab, etc. And you can earn your housing, education, a clean slate, and possibly a new life. I have ideas. Another thing I want to do is I want to defund and punish the police. Auditing the Department of the Police, the Denver Charter, the Police Union, Denver Health, the Denver Department of Human Services, and housing. Unhoused service providers, they're all getting audited. I want to turn crime into a tangible, constructive, something that's tangible and constructive and productive, with incentive to thrive for the betterment, better part of sentencing and re-entry. I also want to create secure movable, convertible modules for unhoused and struggling small business, secure garages and parking lots for the unhoused, and RV car neighbors with options to earn housing through service to the city. Employment to our brothers and sisters with benefits and hazard pay to receive training to protect and defend the most vulnerable, defenseless members of Denver and to prevent crime and injustice as a preventative measure. Promotion of peace where force is the last resort. Housing, drug rehab, mental health, education, trade, self-sufficient campus for wayward youth, incarcerated youth up to the ages of 24 with incentive to live in clean, self-sufficient lives and being a contributing member of society. I am accessible. I live in Park Hill. I live on 38th in Quebec in Northeast Park Hill. So I'm very accessible and I'm ready to listen. Tell me what tangibles you want to see from the next mayor. Donate if you can. Frontline Black News is the platform. It's on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe. And we're on every Saturday at 10 p.m. Reparations Immediate Action Task Force is another thing I want to create. Creating a crime bill for us in this city. Let's dialogue. In addition, I want to create recycling and reusing swept items from encampments, from these sweeps that they call cleanups. Mobile showers, laundry facilities, porta potties for our unhoused, for people with power maintenance incentives. I want to lower the AMI. I want to increase the linkage fees. I want controlled rent for livable wages and minimum wage. Section 8 housing is immediately created and constructed for everyone, but specifically for our people, just for starters. So once again, the election is April 4th, 2023. Parents for Mayor 2023. Make sure you get registered to vote if you're not already. And I look forward to being your next mayor. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your time at the 8th annual Marcus Messiah Garvey Day. evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're at. This is season two, episode 44 of the Frontline Black News. I'm your host, Chan Kruma, next mayor of Denver 2023, Jesse Paris. And we're waiting on our West Coast correspondent and Lady Che to get in the building. But we will be discussing several things this afternoon. The first thing is where we left off last night. So we wasn't able to continue the show last night. So we had to end it early. And there's Lady Che. Welcome, Lady Che.
You're so frustrated because why are you doing the show right now?
Because we're not going to have time to do it later.
Why not?
Because you still got to do the RBA. What do you mean, why not?
God, man. I tell you, family. I tell you, Brother Che, like to the moon, Ellen. Anyway, actually did have something to say, but I got distracted. I made myself well. Hey, family, I just want to apologize for falling asleep.
Yeah, y'all both fell asleep.
Man. I thought start clowning. I need a vacation. It's very hard making part two of Team Cards, especially like when it's never endless, constantly evolving and changing policies or creating policy. reading. God, man, my brain feels so stuffed. Yeah, all that stuff, and I feel like I'm exhausted and like be working on some shit for Jesse, and I think I worked myself to exhaustion. So I don't know. It's like I got cold because y'all know I got no heat up in this bitch. So I got cold, and all of a sudden, I must have fell. I don't remember what I fell. I don't remember falling out. I don't remember what topic we were on. It's like that. Like I remember. All I remember was yeah. No, I don't remember shit. I don't remember what topic I fell asleep on.
You fell asleep.
I remember you said it was midnight. I remember that part. And I was like, yeah, man, I gotta go lay down.
We had just finished up the Nichols case.
The what?
The Nichols case.
Oh yeah, you're still on that. Yeah, I remember that part. Yeah, so it was right after that, right?
Yeah.
Like right after that. Okay, cool. Then shit, forget I apologize then. Anyway, I'll come on camera, but I'm twisting my hair, and I know Jesse was gonna do a show right now. So like half twisting my hair, and making I'm making some oatmeal. So I was like, yeah, it's crazy. I feel like I'm doing like 15 things at one time. So you got a lot of background noise, cause.
How's that?
It sound like you're in a. Yeah, I guess it'll be alright. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think you really change it. It's either like it's like you sound like you're outside in the wind. It's like shh, like air. You know what I mean? Anywho, glad you're doing the show. I guess so we can finish it. How many topics are left?
So we got black farmer family in Colorado being threatened.
Huh?
Update on the Denver mayor's race in 2023.
Oh man.
Black-owned restaurant Randall's received $15,000 from Denver 7 Cares, DC affiliate, Unhoused Neighbor News, and Unhoused Neighbor Suites.
I'll try and control myself. Yeah. Like I thought, man, like I don't know what the fuck I said. I mean, like I do know what the fuck I said yesterday. I was like, damn,
You went off. You was going off on everybody.
that shit is crazy. Like it's just stupid. It's stupid to be the campaign, the race, because you know, because they're all off brands. They're fucking stupid. Like, and what's even worse is that nobody's catching us. Like, I feel like sometimes, it's kind of cocky, but I feel like I'm the smartest motherfucker in the whole world some days. And,
Yeah,
like, why doesn't anybody see what I'm seeing? Why do I gotta ask the questions so everybody can pay attention? Like, you know what I mean? Like, God, I don't think I was brought here to be the fucking, you know, the fucking, the leader to the fucking, uh, knowledge of salvation and shit. You know what I mean?
yeah.
No, like, God, it's boring. Like, I'm bored. Like, get with the program, family. You know what I mean? Like, don't you see? Or am I the only one that sees? Damn, I'm like, I just can't believe it. What I went off about yesterday, shit. I don't remember. I don't know where it started. To be honest, I was so exhausted, Kelly. I ended up typing, reading, printing, watching TV, like trying to watch TV, trying to have like days off. It's just I was unsuccessful, completely unsuccessful. Yeah, like man, I was trying to run away and like hide out in my apartment. And, you know what I mean? Like I didn't pick up the phone or nothing. I didn't, wasn't on like social media. It was kind of like casually, listening here and there to New Black Media, and like just catching up like here and there. But I was really just off in the zone watching. I was fucking off basically, doing the work and fucking off, watching movies, giggling, watching movies, blowing off my brother. You know what I mean? Talking with my sister. Man, we talked for like 8 hours the other night. It was thorough. It was thorough. You know. And the whole time I'm doing work and like I'm not doing. I'm filling out this application uh, that I had. That was like 80 pages long, and I had to redo well, I didn't have to redo them, but I did the flyers and then created some signs. Yeah, I was basically watching. I finally got to watch the Black Panther 2. You know what I mean? Basically fucking off and filling my head with like knowledge that I don't know if I'm gonna need after the election. Like, to be honest, like I was really good with us watching the whole fucking shit just implode. What happened to imploding?
Right. It can all collapse. We don't give a damn.
Yeah, like I was like, what happened to the fucking two-party system imploding? You know. Plus, I felt like if I was really quiet, my voice would come back and I could sing my jams. But apparently, that's not gonna happen. And it's Mr. Paris's fault. Always his fault. It
Blame it on the mayor.
is kid.
Oh,
Trying to be funny. Anyway, all right. So I'm gonna stop talking. Go ahead.
yes. Our first topic of the afternoon is the Black farmer family is being terrorized. Guess where, Black family? Here in Colorado, in the KK Sundown state of Colorado.
This
So
is true. This is true. First of all, it's a beautiful thing when see black farmers. My father passed away the day before I was born, but he had plans of taking me and my mother and raising me on a farm. He had like a whole fucking plan. He's gonna raise me on a farm, and I was gonna learn how to do farm work. And you probably would have found me a fucking, like you probably would have did all of that. I don't even think I probably would have went to school. I just been right there, just growing vegetables, tending to the animals, just being, maybe I would have learned how to ride a horse. Definitely wouldn't have been bad. You know what I mean? Whole different future. he had it planned out, but he died. He passed away. You know, so I was like, damn. I wouldn't have mind growing up on a farm. Yeah,
Yeah, you would have been out in the country.
I know. I like the country. Country's scary at night, family. Like when you come from you in the urban city, you hear all kind of weird ass noises and farm animals at night just politicking, and you're like, fuck. And then I was like, literally over there in God, what is it? I want to say Fort Lupton. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of rural over there. A few years back, like maybe 8 years back, I was over there just helping this old lady. Um, my my cousin's best friend's mama. You know what I mean? Helping her helping her do work around her 5 acres. You know? Late at night, she likes to do stuff like I do, like late at night, like hang bug catchers up and shit, just weird shit. And and I remember I was outside and she a little old lady, she's like 70 years old. She's like walking like cat walking this like the edge the railing of a patio. She's like, help me, hang this expensive ass bug zapper up. And I kept hearing these wild ass noises. I thought it was a baby fucking crying. Like a couple like on the next farm, you know what I mean? Like right over there, like maybe 5, 8 acres away. You know, it sounded like a folk. Sounded like I was like it was cold too, and this house looked all creepy. It was like the house looked creepy, and it was in the time where the moon looks huge.
Uh-huh.
You like when you see the moon like during harvest time. It's harvest time, like October, or whatever. The moon fucking like dramatically 30 times bigger than what it usually is.
Mhm.
You know, and the way it was like covering this house or like cornered in this house, it looked creepy. It looked like something you would see like old scary ass movie or something, or scary ass cartoon or some shit. Like dramatic. But these motherfuckers, the sound was like it sounded like a baby crying. It's cold. It was like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm just fucking around doing work because nobody wants to do work during the day sometimes. So out there fucking around outside, and I kept hearing it. I was like, "What is that fucking noise?" I was like, "Who got their baby out here like that?" That's what I thought. You know, and plus, I got bad vision, right? So I'm looking up over there, and I see these people. There's like 1 or 2 people walking around. Like I could barely see it, but it looked kind of alienish, So in my mind, I'm building it up as something else, because it's dark, and I'm like freaked out by the noise, right?
Mhm.
And she's like, "That's a peacock farm," and I was like, "What? The fuck you mean peacock farm? Who has peacocks out here?" Cause like motherfuckers have roosters, chickens. Roosters don't ever crow at 6 a.m. Anyway, family, just so you know, they do whatever the fuck they want to do. They follow you everywhere. If they got a little hen with them, the rooster and the hen just mob around, follow you. They crow whatever the fuck they want. They don't have a schedule. They're rude as fuck, and they'll eat anything. I think they'll eat anything. I don't know. I don't know. I had a moment where a rooster could have got kicked. Could have got kicked. I kept yelling at it like, "Motherfucker, you don't stop following me." Like, you don't stop fucking following me, you and your bitch. They were following me all over fucking, all over, all over fucking where it was, California, the little migrant farm. But anyway, back to this fucking peacocks, right? There was like 5 fucking peacocks, some cows, right, and a couple of horses on this little thing. Because me and the binoculars, she had a good pair of binoculars up in her house. So I was creeping out the back window, sitting on the roof with the binoculars. I was like, God damn, there's a lot of motherfucking peacocks over there. And they active at night. Real active. Like, bitch, stay out. Like, go to bed. Peacocks are males, right? The ones
Yeah.
with feathers. I was like, go to bed. Nobody wants you. Go to bed. Because you got the pretty ones, and then you got the peacock, the girls, the female
Mhm.
ones. They're like brown. real unattractive, And I'm like, stop walking around strutting. Go to bed. Fucking loud. It sounded like a baby crying in the middle of the night. I was like, who got your fucking kid outside? Like just crying like for fucking like all night long. They're not crying. They're politicking. It's like a whole fucking sea meeting of peacocks out there. It's like, yeah, go to bed. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, because I like to patrol I like to patrol the area wherever I'm at. Family, this patrolling shit that I do has been going on for like probably since I was old enough to run away from my house when I was little. Okay, like 7, 8 years old. I run away and run around the neighborhood and probably be gone for like 2 days. This has been going on since I was little. So patrolling, I had to take a motherfucking in the country. You come from the city. I come from the city. The country is more scarier sometimes. Cows make weird ass noises, at night. Motherfucking, you don't know if they shoot like you need a flashlight. Take the pistol and get something you can bang on because there's coyotes out there. What? Say what? Coyotes? Like motherfucking traffickers, like they bring motherfuckers over, or like actual coyotes. She's like actual coyotes, wild motherfucking coyotes. I was like, fuck. And it's more, the only thing was more scarier than that was this motherfucking barn cat she liked to adopt. Motherfucker didn't even live in the house. He's just like, you ever see Pepe Le Pew?
Yes.
Yeah, Pepe Le Pew was over there bouncing around on his feet. This motherfucker was bouncing around on river rocks following me and shit. Jumped out of this fucking thing. Scared the shit out of me. Because he liked to fuck with me. Like, it's like really like to fuck with me. Just fuck with me. Till I got pissed off, did something to it. And then bring home like a mouse or a rabbit. Once I brought a rabbit and like it was right there, I was like, oh. So you do like fucking orange ass motherfucking I hate cats. Country, dude. The country's fun. Scary as hell at night. It's like this with a city person. Would you rather be at night all by yourself in the city amongst all the the environmental the shit that goes on in the city? You know what I mean? At night, overnight, or would you rather be outside in the country, outside? You know what I mean? And just listen to the noise. Close your eyes and listen to the noise. Which one do you want better? I'm like, shit, the city. I'd rather listen to gunshots than motherfucking peacocks.
In the news again, y'all. They shot down that U.S. shot down their balloon.
No, but they shot it down over the water, so that's stupid. They should shot it. They shouldn't even shot it down. They should have captured it. You know what I mean?
So,
Like,
Biden, y'all president, is supposed to be doing a State of the Union address on Tuesday, and China has vowed to crash it.
well, goddamn right. Like, what's funny about that whole thing though, Jesse, is that like they want like they hyped it up. The news preps you for the nonsense, right? They had a whole Asian person talking about it's going to create tensions. Is it? Would it have to? Why don't you tell us what's going on over there in like Missouri or Montana or whatever? Because that's kind of interesting.
They bought a whole bunch of land in Montana.
But then I'm like, look, is it really Asia? It was it really Chinese, or was it really the United States? And the Chinese just went along with it, because that's how it works sometimes with you align yourself with the enemy just to get the fucking actual agenda passed. It's like it's really the United States fucking shit, and it's like, hey, you take the credit for this, and then a little while later, I'll do this. You know what I mean? Everything's all in cahoots with each other. You notice that? Asia. Then, like in fucking America's like America's hands are in everything.
Yep.
Really. America's hands are in everything. Every motherfucking Asia's hands in everything, but low key. Motherfucking Africa's the victim. What else?
But Lady Check.
Go ahead.
So, Lady Tay got off on a tangent, y'all. So we got to get back on schedule.
Yeah. They'll- All right, I'm gonna go on mute. I'm gonna go on mute and make this oatmeal. Go ahead.
Okay, so Black family, we have a Black farmer family that's being terrorized. Shout out here in Colorado. Shout out to Afro Elite for bringing this coverage.
It was Tariq who brought it out first. Tariq Nasheed.
Well, new somebody from the new Black media.
Touche.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to the new black video.
Literally physical go to us in our business, in our spaces, in our businesses, and they sabotage it. Just like this situation right here with the Black farmers. Okay, this article comes from arcrepublic.com. It says, get out. Black Colorado Rangers face domestic terrorism by local whites who say they are trying to steal their land. Okay, this is in 2023. We're supposed to be in this post-racial society. As long as we quote unquote work hard, let them tell it, they'll leave us alone and they don't bother anybody. But this is what happens when Black people are successful. When we're doing something successful, they hate that, they fear that, and they go out of their way to mess it up. And I'm just saying that off of the title alone. Well, let's actually read the article. It starts off saying, a Black couple rebuilt their lives after losing everything in a hurricane. They never thought they'd be thrown into a fight for their range and possibly their lives in a predominantly white and hostile Colorado country. Listen, this is my message. I'm not trying to victim blame, but this is my message to this Black family, okay? You have to understand, we live in a world that has waged war against Black people. And that's everywhere in the world. You have to understand that, okay? Especially in America. And then especially in places that are predominantly white. That's just what it is.
He ain't lying, man. And you know what?
You realize that
He ain't lying.
to your environment accordingly. And I'm not saying that if they were conscious,
I hear you echoing, because
I'm saying that the whole, I never would have expected this. I never saw this coming. We see that happening time and time again. Okay. If you do not understand the system of white supremacy,
either your phone or turn it down or something.
It's important for you to understand this system of white supremacy, because when you understand that, you understand why people react the way they do and do the things that they do. Okay, let's continue. Every night on Freedom Arch Stage is
I
a
can hear my
game
voice coming from your phone.
Courtney W. Mowry and his wife Nicole. As of late, he most likely will find tools destroyed, a prize cattle stolen, or one of his hogs with their entrails spewing from split bellies.
Man, that sounds like mumbo.
Beheaded and butchered goats, castrated,
Like
are
mumbo
Like
It's
recently,
because
his
you
new
think it's really loud. Can you hear me?
not long
Yes.
ago, the
You're
mother of
really loud, but like you gotta turn your
was
speaker down.
poisoned along with several pigs
Afro Elite's really loud a little bit.
of
But
animal remains on the
we're
farm
muting it
has had to
through
put
phone.
out fires.
I can hear the whole thing that I just repeated.
But I just want to
Yeah, I
say
can hear
this
it,
stuff happens to Black businesses all of the time. And we say it all the time. And all the time it gets ignored, it gets blown off. Oh my God, you guys are tripping. You guys are listen very carefully. We as Black society, we pretty much know when mysterious items, equipment, and things like that, when they just go missing, when cattle just ends up beheaded, when coops catch on fire, we know who's doing that. And I can almost guarantee you that this family has gone to the authorities multiple times, and the authorities said, okay, well, we'll do an investigation, and they don't do anything. And this happens to Black people, not just farmers, but this happens to Black people all around the country, and it's been happening to Black people because this country cannot make it the way it is. Its foundation is anti-Black racism, and it cannot survive without its foundation. And the dominant society members, they all know this. So when they see a Black business that's not struggling, that's actually making it, that's actually persevering and being successful, mind you, this family said that they lost everything during a hurricane. Okay, can you imagine how hard it is to have you and your wife, y'all build something, y'all have a business, a house, and all of that stuff, and a hurricane just comes and takes that all away, and you don't have anything, and then you have to rebuild that. A lot of people don't even recover from that when that stuff happens to them. But this family did. This family is got a farm and they're recovering from it and everything. They're persevering. Now, America always tells black people, oh, if you guys would just pull yourselves up by your bootstraps, if you guys would just work hard like everybody else, then you wouldn't have anything to complain about. There wouldn't be a racial wealth gap. You are poor because it's your fault and you're lazy. But when you see black people who are the hardest working people, nobody can tell me different. But when you see black people who persevere past all of the obstacles that are put upon them, the dominant society's oppressor class goes out of their way to sabotage that. And this happens all of the time. This is not a one-off. I promise you this is not a one-off. This happens in the farms. This happens in rural areas, big cities, all of that stuff. Vandalism, all of that stuff. Okay? This happens too often. And the media barely reports about it, and the police officers, the law enforcement don't do anything. To make the situation more tenuous, the Maurice fence has been damaged over 10 times. Frequently, they must replace surveillance equipment after they see strangers pointing a device towards the camera, which help them jam them and taking out
I wonder if they got cameras.
Electricity
You know,
lines.
like most people got
their well rotted
they used to do
illegal lines from their source.
they put perimeter cameras with tripwires on there.
What are the cops doing about these?
If they don't, somebody should have to invest in it. I think they're smart enough.
No one's doing it. It's the people in the local area. They just admitted the fact that they know they are doing that stuff. But this over 10 times, they've had to replace their fence or repair their fence. Nothing gets done about it. Continuing, one day, Courtney was chased by a white man when repairing a portion of his fence. The aggressor, who was in a car, gunned for Courtney, who made it to his vehicle in just enough time to dash away in a hellish pursuit. Once he made it to the end of his property, the man scurried the other way. One evening, Nicole was followed by a white woman who almost ran her off the road, then put on high beams and pulling out what looked like a gun. These people, man, the confrontation was exceptionally unnerving because Nicole was returning from a church function with her visiting nieces and nephew. Man. Once or twice a week, strange white people drive slowly by their ranch, stop and take pictures or video, and sometimes brandish their guns at them. The couple is frequently followed, especially while they are.
Oh wait, never mind.
As a result, they rarely travel and are mindful of what time. Clearly, they are unwanted. Listen, I understand that you live in a place that doesn't have a lot of black people, so you're not going to have a lot of black backup. And I understand that when it comes to self-defense, that it doesn't work really when it comes to black people when they say they do things in self-defense, okay? Because it works with them, it don't work with us. Even though we're supposed to have just as much right to self-defense as everybody else, we don't. I get that. My thing is this. I'm going to tell you this about me personally. I've not been in that situation. But me personally, I'd be damned if I'm sitting up there cowering because some white folks is terrorizing me. Some white hillbilly trailer park trash is terrorizing me and following me. I wish you would come on my property. Game over, especially based off the fact that I told police multiple times. Okay, so they have a record of all of those times. So if we do got to go to court for your untimely demise, then I have all of this times when I went to the police, I went to law enforcement, I told them what happened. They wouldn't let that happen. These people been following me, almost ran me off the road, my wife off the road, pointing a gun at me and all that stuff. Oh, I fear for my life. I got to do what I have to do. I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, man, it's getting dark. Let's get home like you live in some type of sundown town. That's me. That's me, okay? And more black people need to be like that. Wherever you go, you need to be the fact that, hey, man, I'm going to leave you alone. You mess with me, it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a big problem. You're not gonna be just breaking my fence 10 times and I'm just like, oh my god, gotta repair it. No, you hit my fence, you damage my fence. That's it. When I repair that, I'm repairing that. There's gonna be some canines on the farm or wherever the case is. It's gonna be a big problem. You keep messing with me and you keep messing with my family. That's what these people need to do. Okay, all that, it was really unnerving because I just left church. That kind of gives me the whole turn the other cheek forgiveness stuff. I don't know how old this family is, but they need to get off that. They need to get off that right now. Okay, their lives literally depend on them stepping up and them going for broke when it comes to.
Sorry about that.
They know who to try. They get a feel of the type of black person that you are before they do something.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, are you done? Because I was going. Oh, you're spitting
They're not. They're crazy. Don't get me wrong, but they're not crazy and reckless with it. Okay, they do it to the black people that they feel are easy targets. That is the thing. That is why it is very, very important for you to make sure, and everywhere you go, you are not an easy target. No matter where you are, no matter who you're around, or if you have people with you, whatever the case is, make sure you are not an easy target. Not just by being prepared and knowing your surroundings, but make sure when people challenge you, when they do a little stuff, because what they start doing is they'll start like messing with the gates and messing with the fences and stuff like that. Jesse. And then when they see you don't really do too much about that, then they move on to, okay, now we're stealing your equipment.
So, like, let me just add to this real quick. Like, he's not lying, you know what I mean? First of all, we should, if you live in Colorado, you're black, you should really treat this like a sundown state. Because, contrary to popular belief, it always gets a little precarious in the nighttime. You know what I mean? And depending on what they on, what?
Shabaka just jumped in.
Jesse.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing? Anyway, let me finish my thought. So what I'm saying is, like, you should always treat this like a sundown state. If you live here, you're black. Now, regardless of what you think, I mean, all kind of precarious shit happens at night. And if they do, like, I'll say this. Uh, white people are not. Well, excuse me. The Caucasians are not are not impervious to doing some fuck shit and stalking and fucking terrorizing and shit. Like Emily said this a couple of times on all the broadcasts that we do. You know how certain people will upset the balance and galvanize the white people, and the white people get upset. They get in their feelings about some shit that we're doing, and they want to ride around in ride around my hood. I live in a what you would consider like I'm from LA, so this isn't really considered a hood. But if you lived in Denver, Aurora, you're from here, you would think this is kind of a rough area, right? So I live in a high crime zone of Aurora, and you when you got the whites over here in the high crime zone in Aurora, right? and they terrorizing a motherfucking little young revolutionary fucking take no shit type of fucking female over some shit, because they do want to change the motherfucking cities, whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? And they think they bold enough to come over here, right? And pull up and say some crazy ass shit, and you just look at it. I'm looking at them like, man, why you waste your motherfucking time? You know you're not gonna do nothing. But I'm like, why though? But they're not, but they'll spin it any old way. They can say whatever. And because they got the fucking complexion for the protection, don't let the shade deflect the message. Okay? They can get away with fucking anything. You know what I mean? I don't even know. I'm going to
pretty much
whatever. You know what I mean? No, you over here stalking. You over here targeting my crib. Are you targeting me? You following me? Why are you following me? And it would be like when a motherfucker like me say it, it's like racial paranoia. You're just making it up or something. Or you just like I'm like, no, like first of all, I ain't no motherfucking victim, but just saying, he's right though. Like when they start fucking up your crib or they start fucking around your vehicles or whatever, we automatically know it's them doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Because motherfuckers like us would just knock on the door and be like, say, have a little dialogue. And if it went to something, it went to something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Say, hey, you know what? This was the blah blah. All right, cool. We might even come to an understanding. But them, the whites, no. The whites like to do fuck shit in our neighborhoods and act like they're trying to scare somebody. You know what I mean? That's why they can roam freely everywhere they go. Because they now we're like, oh, well, you know, we just got this now. They want to think that it's fear. But it's like, no, you know you're up to something. Maybe I should just go inside. Because you're going to get, you're doing the most. You know what I mean? Like, let me just go inside. Because I don't want to be involved. Because you're the fucking terrorist. Like, I don't know. Like, the last time it happened, I was like, what you going to do about it? What you going to do? You just gonna creep up on me like you gonna, swipe me? Get it over with, so we can, or don't, but keep it pushing. And I definitely don't want to hear no crazy shit, because it's like I got enough going on over here that I gotta listen to, or not really listen to, but could get curious about and be nosy about. But this would be extra shit. And then they bring with them, they bring the terror, or they bring the stalking, the harassment, and then they bring the law. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're the ones doing it
Mm-hmm.
when they got a problem. So if I was the farmers, we already know, since the farmers already know, it's pretty much in the hands of a motherfucking, those white people trying to do that, they putting their own lives in danger.
Mm-hmm.
Protecting your assets like cows, chickens, you know what I mean? Your family, your fucking acreage, that your water wells, whatever you got going on out there, that's your assets. So, by any means, don't you have a right to defend and protect your assets?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if they don't want you, first of all, you can't in rural areas. Them alignments out there, like in Greeley, Fort Lupton, all the rural areas, their alignments are with the sheriff and you know what I mean, with whatever's guarding them, the police out there. They're not like the police out there. So white people get away with all kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
They just robbing the people of their money, like out there. For over what, though?
I know. It's white privilege to the fullest. I
They
think
don't do that shit when it was the black rodeo, though. When the rodeo came, they weren't doing all that. They were trying to be in good standing.
Sabaka.
Yes, sir.
Are you back?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going over the.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes. So we're going over the farmers, the black farmers here in Colorado being terrorized.
Okay. All right, which isn't a good thing, and they need. Okay, and they need to. Yes, sir. They need to defend themselves and defend their property, is because you see, land is a key factor of production. Rather if it's for agricultural purposes, or rather if it's for residential purposes, rather if it's for commercial purposes, because you got to have a base of operation. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So of course, you need the land, to operate it from. And today we're doing a special edition on Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 5 p.m. Mountain Time, 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's entitled that we are still in a state of emergency. Okay, it's because speaking, with family members, friends and stuff like that, in regard to what happened with Mr. Nichols and down in Tennessee, a lot of us are going through post-traumatic stress syndrome. You see what I mean? And once again, is that they, trying to project that fear off into us. Oh well, you don't have nothing to worry about. We're not going to kill you, but in actuality, that's what the intent is. And then you and I, Brother Paris, has spoke a few years ago on Shabaka's Black Experience in Hand, where the feds had said is that they got a lot of white extremists, going on out here and things of that nature. But at the same token, they're not saying what they're doing to prevent it. And then, of course, as we all know, yes, sir.
They're not doing nothing to prevent it.
Yeah, that's my point. You see what I'm saying? And then inertia on it, or their lack of getting involved on it, goes to prove that they are silently endorsing it. You see what I mean? So, I really don't care what Kamala is saying. I don't care what Biden is saying. You see what I mean? Because both of those parties are two sides of the same coin. Mm-hmm. You see? And then, I was on another podcast yesterday. They had their brain dead individuals up there, Pianki, Sarge, what have you. You know what I'm saying? And so you know how that went.
What podcast were you on, Brother Shabaka?
Okay, I'm trying to remember. The only thing I know is the brother's name was Amos, and he's out of Carolina. I believe he's out of South Carolina. So I don't know if he's near Charleston, or I don't know if he's near Spartanburg or what have you. But looking at his photograph or his profile picture for his podcast, it was him standing by what I would imagine would be the Atlantic Ocean. Because he was definitely along the coast in the photograph, you see. So they'll probably have to check it. You know what I'm saying? And then in their chat room, I went back and forth. After I left it, because I'm not gonna sit up here and get my blood pressure up, man, and argue with a bunch of individuals with cognitive dissonance. You see what I'm saying? Right. So I just went on and left them to themselves. And then, of course, when we do our podcast this afternoon, as I am trying to invite members from the new Black Panther Party, to come in with it as well, too, because, as you know, they got their podcast on Sunday and Monday. Mm-hmm. Yes, so, I'm going to put it out there to them. And then, of course, if you guys see the links up on my walls, up on Facebook and the Tweety Bird, please share the link. And it's just basically to get feedback, from the Black community, where we at in these current times, Yeah, and I'm sorry I fell asleep last night, Brother Che, man. I'm saying,
I'm sorry too. I'm sorry. I apologize. Yeah. I was really there. I was like,
no need to apologize. That just goes to show of the dedication of how we putting in the extra hours, on these platforms. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And whatnot. And it's essential that we keep them up, because we know when we get limited on Facebook, limited on the Tweety Bird, what it is they just don't like the truth. That's all. That's all that means, that they don't like the truth. And, and our people.
Tweety Bird
did what now?
Your Tweety Bird said your post could be considered violent or offensive, because I said this motherfucker was a suspected white supremacist. And today is Trayvon Martin's 28th birthday. He would have been 28 today.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
okay, so of course.
The suspected white supremacist I was talking about, Trayvon Martin, was a thug, and he attacked Zimmerman. And
oh my God,
he would still be here if he didn't attack Zimmerman or some stupid.
They know.
Okay, and then the part that they're omitting, as we already know, is that they even had made the replay of when Zimmerman had made the 911 call. They said, "Hey, leave him alone. We're on our way." So then he goes ahead and he shoots him. And me personally, I think that Mr. Martin, was murdered. And I think Zimmerman, should be facing the death penalty. But however, then you get the brain dead, like your Piankis and Sarges on Joe Gibson's show, that come up there and say, well, he was a thug, this, that, there, the other, and all this. And it just goes to show, as Dr. Marimba Ani had wrote in her book, let's see, the Ma'afa, which is a tragedy so bad it's beyond description, and that's exactly what the transatlantic slave trade was. Also, too, I did post it up on my wall, is that I did catch the last hour of Black Panther, the Wakanda Forever. Once again, very, 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 very well-made production, and I'm glad that they did not knuckle under to the sea people that they had, because from what I gather is that they had got access to the vibranium. And Siri, the younger sister, the scientist, she's now the queen of Wakanda, because they did kill the queen mother, played by Angela Bassett.
Yeah, you know what I liked about it though, Shabaka? I like the whole little plot, whole little storyline and everything. And I don't want to ruin for nobody. It took me, I had to stream it. It took me forever to get to watch it. So I finally watched it yesterday. I watched it twice. But I like the ending I like the very ending, where she's reflecting, that she had a little tribute to the cat, right? I like that. I like how that happened. I even had a teary-eyed moment there, right at the very end.
Yeah, when she reflected on Chadwick Boseman, and then she was sitting on the coast of Haiti, I believe, or Haiti, as it is pronounced. And then I guess it was the little boy was, I guess, her nephew that came up, and she says, well, what is your name? And he said his name is Toussaint, after, I would imagine, Toussaint L'Ouverture. And she says, well, that's an honorable name to have. And from what I understand, that this was King T'Challa's son, from what I gather about it. But I got to, watch it in its entirety. Yeah. And then I appreciated how General Okoye had got to do a Mujale back, is because, she had retired, you see. Yeah. And then, and Siri says, well, General, I need you for one more round, and she says, hey, Wakanda forever. And so, and I like the part where dude was laying there in the desert, where Siri said, okay, we got to get him to the desert, is because she says this fool needs water, okay? And so she went up there and put it to him, and dude says, I yield. Okay.
I like that too.
Which means
I like that too, because
go ahead,
Shabaka, go ahead. What I liked about it was Okay. I'll wait for you. Go ahead. I got excited right
now. And I like the part. Okay, but I like the part where she killed dude at the end. And, in Wakanda, hey, it's still there. It's still Wakanda. You see what I'm saying? And I'm quite sure that they are going to make Black Panther 3, so we probably won't be seeing that until 2025, is because these are very, very highly financed productions, and, and it takes them a couple of years to do it. And then, of course, when the pandemic, scamdemic, COVID hit, of course, they had shut down Hollywood for a minute, and Ms. Bassett had went on Twitter and says, well, they need to open up Hollywood. We need to get work back. And I tweeted back to Ms. Bassett, and, of course, she's married to Courtney Vance. And I says, well, Ms. Bassett, you're one of my favorite actresses, and which she is, because I like the positive roles that she has always played. But I says, man, forgive me for saying so, but fuck Hollywood. Okay, they got too much money. You know what I'm saying? And we got too many homeless people out here. And it wouldn't even be a drop in the bucket to the multi-trillion-dollar industry of social media and of Hollywood, you see where they can get at least 50% of the homeless people in shelter, particularly in the winter areas like where Brother Isaiah is, where you guys are at, and what have you. See, that wouldn't even be a drop in the bucket to them. And then they could do it on a recurring basis, okay, because they'll get the tax write-off soon. You see, and then of course, keep an eye on your prime lending interest rate, because Biden is getting ready to fuck up the economy again. You see, due to his incompetence, well, due to his senility that is setting in, and his incompetence, and we're not gonna talk about the vice president, because from what I understand,
last night.
She did what now?
We talked about them enough last night.
Yeah, man.
We did. We did. Yeah, we did. And they are talking about dropping her off the ticket for 2024 anyway.
Oh, I was gonna ask you that. I was like, I said, so if he run again, hypothetically, for president, can he choose a different VP?
Yes.
Yes, he can.
His shit, she ain't doing shit. She just random appearances here and there and acting stupid. You know what I mean?
Well, basically, the thing is about Kamala Harris is that she's more up there as a figurehead as opposed to actually doing something. Now, here this woman is a doctor of jurisprudence, meaning a law degree. And then, of course, like I said, when she was the attorney general in California, the chief law enforcement officer, she didn't do nothing. When you look at Mario Woods, Adele Ford, let's see, and I'm trying to think of all in California, Alan Bluford, I believe. And then, of course, she was appointed to senator by Newsom. And then I think she had got elected, as the U.S. senator, you see. And then, of course, when she became vice president, then they had to make it a point that California needs another senator, to fill her spot. And what happens is, in the unexpired term, the governor could appoint someone to fill out the expired term. And then, of course, they got to have the election, to replace the senator. And I think Brother Che did some research on it, and I forgot the name of the senator in California, who took over her seat, is because Dianne Feinstein, she needs to retire. She's like a million years old and whatnot. So once again, incompetence is coming in and stuff like that. Then, of course, this hidden agenda that they're trying to push and what have you. And then also, too, we're going to advocate that everybody boycotts the state of Florida. And what I mean by that is, if you got business dealings with any businesses in Florida, boycott them. If you plan on taking any trips to Florida, don't go. If you plan on making any purchases out of Florida, don't go. It's because Ron DeSantis, as we all know, and I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts, is going to be the GOP nominee on the Republican side, or the reptilian side, as I call it. Okay. And then the dump, I don't think he's got the juice to make it, and it's going to be DeSantis, the one who's going to push the dump out the way. You'll say, because the dump, he has issues, as we all know, and stuff of that nature right there, and what have you, And then there is a meme of a few years ago, before he even considered running for president, where he made the statement that if he was to run for president, that he would run as a Republican, is because the Republicans are some of the most dumbest MFs that you ever want to come across. And they will fall for anything. And his election to be, their front man in 2016, and with him being elected, proved his point. You see what I mean? Yes.
Most likely. Okay, so like we're always talking about hold your vote unless you have something tangible, vote for. With any politician or whatever. They're not offering tangibles for black people as usual. Come the next presidential election, I mean, what it gonna look like when nobody votes for them and they don't get no votes,
Well,
no real vote.
yeah. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Okay, that is a very, very good question. You know what I'm saying? Is because the Democrats, they letting us down. Of course, we know about the situation there in Memphis. Okay, so what it is that they're putting up the facade, race don't have nothing to do with it, but in actuality, it does through long term effects. Like we all saw Django, right? And you, of course, remember the part that Samuel L. Jackson played, and those police officers that murdered Mr. Nichols of the same mindset of
Mm-hmm.
Samuel L. Jackson, in that movie. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Al Sharpton, you know what I'm saying? He's an opportunist. I don't like Al Sharpton. Ben Crump, I'm kind of like on a borderline, although he is an ambulance chaser. But however, I think that since, Johnny Cochran is no longer with us, I would have to say, by default, that Ben Crump would be the guy, to get Tyree's family compensated for, although they're never going to get over their loss. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I had a
But
couple.
hopefully, Crump. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
My thoughts. Well, I saw the funeral, and like this, I'm gonna say it like this. A lot of that stuff, man. Like okay, look. I was asking me and Jesse were watching. Like I had these wild ass thoughts. It would be don't judge me for like family, but somebody asked questions. I was like, this seemed a little performative. Like it started to get really performative. Even with the family, it started
Hmm.
to get really performative, and I'm like, man, when they
Yeah.
talk about these bills that because the motherfuckers that threw the fucking funeral. I'm not talking about the family. I'm talking about everybody else, like Sharp and fucking Chrome,
Yeah, we
Biden and
covered
all
that.
that. It turned very political, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like with the George Floyd thing, and we're gonna add this. Like, look, man, if he was gonna do that, he would have did that. You know what I mean? He would have already did that. Secondly, and he will sign it. Like they were so sure. Okay, well, even if he did, and he will. Like
Mm-hmm.
that, like he will. He did it. Like he doesn't give a fuck. This is just like a pacifying moment that they'll say that they'll do the symbolism conversations. So to ease black people, knowing that it's a fucking agenda. You know what I mean? Because we're listening to or watching it. This is an agenda. There's always an agenda,
Oh,
and
yes, ma'am.
from like upsetting the balance of black people only to act like they're the hero and they're actually gonna do something. But it's not like just because being it's saying from Ben Crump's mouth or Al Sharpton's mouth. I mean, how much time have they said some shit and then let us all down?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yes, ma'am.
and
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
one last thought. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing a
Yeah.
new person, like a young person, the do
Hmm.
Ben Crump's job. Cause I'd be like, man, that motherfucker racking up mad miles. He is everywhere and nowhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's
Exactly.
everybody's shit and nowhere
Yeah.
else. You know?
Yeah. 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 And then also too, and then on that other podcast, these brain dead Negroes,
But
Bianchi and Sarge, they crumb bombed on Huey Newton. And what I want to pull up here, okay, let me see, where is it? I already had the 10-point program right here. Okay.
hey, Lucy,
Okay, now listen to this. Okay, check this out, folks, here. Keepers of the Peace, which is the second chapter of this book right here. Okay, the racist dog police must cease their wanton, brutal murder of black people or face the wrath of an armed people, Huey P. Newton. Okay, and here's the words of then police chief of Oakland, Charles Gaines. the Black Panther Party poses a real threat to the peace and tranquility of the city of Oakland. You see what I'm saying? And then, of course, as Dr. Marvin X had stated, on our podcast, a while back, who we thank him for coming on, is that Oakland is the city of resistance. You see what I'm saying? And what it is that, when I look at these good old boys and hillbillies there, Montana, Utah, Northern California, Oregon, Idaho, what have you, they're very, very serious about their Second Amendment rights, okay? In the state of Idaho, you don't even need a permit to carry a firearm, and you do not need a permit to CCW. And they say, yeah, but you go to California and they catch you with that, man, you're doing 5 years, man, right over there in San Point. Yeah, you're doing 5 years. And this here was the Mulford Act, as I stated before, of 1968, was signed off into law by then the senile governor of California at that time before he became the president, Ronald Reagan. And more recent too, from on Hollywood, because he was a Class B actor. He wasn't even a great actor, man. He was Class B actor. You know what I'm saying? And then he was even a Class C actor when he was president. You see what I mean? And then you see, Tyree did take a trip over there to San Francisco. I just saw the Bay Bridge right there, so he was definitely on the San Francisco side. And then, of course, we all do know where the Bay Bridge, takes you to Okada. And then, of course, too, I'm putting asking everybody to check out my YouTube videos from the Infirmary Park. And I guess I got to get with you, Brother Parrish, to get the links and stuff up on that there, to get them out, because, we got to monetize these platforms, folks, you know what I'm saying? And, we need the support of the communities, because we putting in a lot of time and effort on our parts to do it. We're using our resources, that we're doing it for the community. We're not trying to get rich, we're trying to make a living that everybody has to do it in financial course. We're looking for, various community projects that's doing something positive in the Black community. And we got to deal with the Black community first, because it's only natural that you got to have your own self-preservation. You see, and then looking here at the Tube, they're saying they got 1.3 million in a GoFundMe page, I would imagine, hopefully, for Mr. Nichols' family, and who these two individuals are right here, I do not know.
Shit, when the president got that motherfucking funeral together, they should have already blessed the family and covered their expenses. Why they need any? Because at this point now, everything is starting to come out performance.
But later for this clown right here, later for him, okay, and Reverend Sharpton, you are more than welcome to give us a call here, man, at Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced this afternoon. And the phone number to call is 516-418-5996. And we are still waiting on you, Biden supporters, to cut brother, to quote Brother Che, who's running, for mayor again. But, you're welcome to call in. So therefore, Piankies and brain dead motherfuckers such as yourself are welcome to call in. And keep in mind, you will be going into an RBG house, and you will have a level of respect. Because as you know, Pianki, we don't mind kicking you off the air. Now, Pianki, the reason why I am singling you out is because you appeared on our podcast. Okay, and Brother Che, the co-producer, he was hosting the show. Okay, and I spoke with you, Pianki. I tried to speak to you right, and you're gonna come back with some smart ass answer. And hey, man, that's our podcast about this Black Experience Enhanced, which is a division of Frontline Black News, and you will act respectfully on our platforms. Okay, the brother whose show that I appeared on yesterday, oh boy, I guess senility is starting to set in. Okay, his name is Mr. Amos. That's all I know,
Okay.
and he's welcome to call in. You see, but however, Mr. Amos does have his guidelines for his platforms that don't exactly coincide with us, but he was respectful. Okay, so he's welcome to call in, and we don't care if you agree or disagree with us. Just be respectful, but we're not going to allow nobody to cuss you out on our platform, Mr. Amos. If somebody's not digging up what you're saying, we're just going to say, okay, just hold on, let the man finish speaking, regardless of what he says. And then when the rebuttals come in, then we'll rebuttal of what he is saying. Okay. And so keeping
Shabaka,
it forward, moving it forward. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
finish your thought because we still gotta finish this video.
I just want to know. I really
Oh,
want
absolutely.
I want to know what he said. Shabaka, what did he say?
Oh, who? Mr. Amos or Bianchi?
Well, what? When did Bianchi get out? When did Bianchi get on there again?
Okay.
For a minute, then he got you like you're mad at him again. But what happened yesterday?
Okay, what happened yesterday, they wouldn't let me talk is because I told them that on our platform we deal with Blacc first, you see. But Bianchi and the brain dead Negro by the name of Sarge is because Sarge claims that if it wasn't for the white rape and slave trading pedophiles who violated black women on the plantation system, that quote unquote, he wouldn't be here. You see what I'm saying?
That's what he said.
Yeah. And then he tried to say the same thing about a lot of our people where our women were violated systemically on the plantation system as well too. So it's really sad that he has that mindset, it's because it's nothing more than self-hatred.
Or was he like?
I'm sorry.
Was it like is he like the product of like like breeding, or was it was it a master taking advantage of a sister?
Okay, well, see, that's exactly what it was on the plantation system, is because the sister could not even resist. Otherwise, she'd be severely beaten. And what happened? This is why the black male was demasculated in her presence to let her know or to affirm in their thought process. Well, this nigga here can't do nothing, to save you. And as Brother Che had pointed out, just like Tariq Nasheed had pointed out, and with the hidden, what is that there, Brother Che? The what?
Hidden colors.
Yeah, that's what the buck breaking was about. You'll say that's what the buck breaking was about. And then they, of course, as you know, would sodomize the black male in the presence of the black female. You see what I mean? And so this is why with these alphabetized agendas, they trying to do it now, except through a high-tech form. Why do you think we get suspended so much? Why do you think I've been suspended off of Facebook and keep getting warnings and stuff like that? Because they were because see, I put it up there on Facebook yesterday, is that I refuse to refer to a grown-ass man as a woman, regardless of what attire that it has on. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because I feel that would be disrespectful to black men and all men on a collective basis on that, number one. Number two, of where it comes from, okay, that they don't want us to have knowledge about. And you see, and they made it a point for us, to forget this brutalization. I mean, and this is what the Bianchis, your Ron DeSantis is doing, your Kamala Harris is doing, is because Ohio Biden is still yet to address the reparations issue on a national basis. You see, right. And idiots like Larry Elders, Leo Terrell, educated fools, in my opinion. And the sad part about it was if these here, and if these was like Asian men or Latino men or even Caucasian men, you could best believe that they would be furthering their agendas, for the betterment of their people. But the Negro has been taught through systemic racism, through brutalization, through demasculation. Oh, Master's so good. I love Master. He been good to me, this, that, that, the other. And then, of course, the hatred of self that we have for ourselves, has been ingrained for generations, and it's going to take generations to remove it. Classic example of that is when you look at a film out of Hollywood called The Soldier Story, the movie that made Denzel Washington a star.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It was because, the plot, the sergeant, was a product of segregation, but he had hated himself. And this is why he had hated the guy by the name of CJ, who he falsely court-martialed and incarcerated in a military jail. And then, of course, CJ, he had killed himself. You see what I mean? You say. And then, of course, Denzel, had stood up to the Sarge and went and fought the Sarge, although Sarge whooped his ass. But I appreciate the fact that Denzel stood up for his manhood. This is what they don't want us to do on a collective basis, you see. And just like, what happened with Tyree Nichols, you say, okay, that there was nothing more than hatred of self. And then, of course, all what it was is that those officers were out carrying out a thing of revenge. They were not enforcing the law. They were carrying out revenge. They had targeted that young man, off of more research that I've done on the case, and then to find out that the chief of the Memphis Police Department, CJ is her name, and I believe what's her name? CJ Reynolds, I believe. Cheryl, I'm sorry, her name is Carol.
Cheryl.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, okay. Well, Chief Carol, there's some incidences in her past too of that are not too cool out of Atlanta, because I believe that she had came up through the ranks in the Atlanta PD and then had transferred over to Memphis. Okay, and then for her to become the chief, so quite naturally, she would have a master's degree or better, Brother Paris, to achieve that rank.
Damn.
You see? Okay. And then, of course, and we spoke last night, about the gentleman who was murdered in Huntington Park, California.
Yeah.
And also to another interesting bit of history of Huntington Park, California. Daryl Gates, the former chief of the Lapdogs, and may he rest in peace. Okay, he's no longer with us. His son, Lowell Gates, was a dope fiend, and he went out and committed an armed robbery in Huntington Park to supply his dope fiend habit. And this was a major slap in the face to Gates. So Gates had to come on the media there in Los Angeles while he was still chief, stating that his son was a dope fiend all his life and that he cannot expect no help from him being chief of the Lapdogs, okay, being top dog of the Lapdogs. And then Gates goes before the U.S. Congress and makes this statement that all casual drug users need to be taken out and shot. And then Gates could have set the example by publicly executing his own son, who was a dope fiend himself. You see the hypocrisy here?
Yeah, look at Hunter Biden and his laptop.
Oh no, and
yes, sir.
His sister with the diary. Right? I was like, man, the Bidens be just leaving their shit anywhere, or they be taking work home and shit, acting like impermanent.
Oh yeah.
I gotta finish the video. Gotta finish the video.
Yes,
to the next topic.
Yes, sir.
Now we're slaughtering your cattle and burning down your chicken coops and stuff like that. All of that stuff, it escalates. It always escalates because when it's at its first level, you don't put an immediate stop to it. This is why you have to be the type of black person so where when the dominant society comes at you, they know, okay, we can't try them. That family over there, they about that business. They don't want to play no games with us. We ain't not about to play no games with them. You got to let them know, even if you're the only black person in town or in the region, wherever you might be, you gotta let, especially if you're the only black person, to be honest, you gotta really let them know, like, hey, I'm not about to play no games with y'all. I'm not about to be building this fence 10 damn times. I'm not about to be putting out fires. If I put out this fire, y'all gonna have to put out a fire. That's that type of energy that you need to be on. And when you come with that energy, when you have that energy and that presence about you, they won't mess with you. But let's get back into the article. Even a post office worker asks us why we're here, says Courtney. If man, listen, I would immediately tell that post office worker to mind their damn business. You don't ask me why we're here. You give me my mail and you leave. That's what you do. Ask us why are you here? Man, look, don't let these folks try, yo. Don't let these folks try it. Continuing. A regular phrase told to Courtney is that, quote, he has a lot of balls to purchase land in the mostly white community. Man, I don't like that. Don't be telling me that. Oh, you got a lot of balls. Man, look. Don't listen. You gotta be, I'm telling you, family, you gotta be the type of person that they scared to step to. They scared to make it, because it starts off like this. Starts off, they're making like slick comments. You gotta let them know, like, hey, I don't tolerate those slick comments. Those little, I don't tolerate. Oh, you got a lot of ball, man. Shut up. Oh, what puts me on edge is that everyone knows us and how we look, but we don't know them. Courtney tells Arc Republic. Man, look, that ain't gonna be a problem. I don't have to know what you look like. If you fit the description, that's all that matters to me. Fit the description, and I ain't gonna say it on YouTube, but you know. And I fit the description around my vicinity.
Can you imagine us using it against them like that?
This is just one of the reports of terror the Houston transplant says the family has experienced since the purchase of the 1,000-acre ranch in El Paso County, Colorado in August 2020. Courtney Marley alleges he and his wife have been the target of local whites who want them off their land. Quote, it's like I'm being tormented for doing God's work, says Marley, who is exhausted because his family has not slept for months from keeping night watches.
Damn.
And to the everyday toll of keeping an active ranch, they are constantly repairing the damage done on to the ranch. Listen, okay, I don't want to hear, I hate to hear stories of black families having to go through this. It's already bad enough being a black farmer because you get sold bad seeds and you don't get the resources that the white farmers, you don't get that. Okay, so it's already bad enough when it comes to that. Then you have these people coming in and they're messing with you, they're sabotaging you, almost about to delete you because the situation with his wife, running his wife off the road. I mean, listen, my message to the family, y'all got to go for broke when it comes to that type of situation. And I'm not advocating no type of violence. All I'm advocating for is self-defense. That is 100% what I'm advocating for. You have a God-given right, first off, to defend yourself and your family, and you have a legal right to defend yourself and your family. What do you think?
Point number 7.
Next is going to be your house with you inside. So, no, we're not playing that game. When they start messing with the fence, you put cameras out there, you get dogs out there. Once you get that, and once you set your stuff up, you got night watches. So that means that people can come and see. Night watches, they come up to the fence, bam, just start firing at them, start busting at them. Even if it's just warning shots, just let them know you're not to be tried. You are not to be played with. And they're going to back off. The thing is that these people who do stuff like this, they face no consequences. They're not sure, they damn sure not facing no consequences by law enforcement. And unfortunately, I don't seem to be giving them much consequences either. So they feel like they can just do whatever they want to do. And that's what they do. It's almost like they're incentivized because who's going to stop them? You guys got to be the ones to stop them. You guys got to be the ones to put y'all foot down and be all like, hey, put a no trespassing sign. So I warned y'all trespass is over with for y'all. And let them know. Okay, you want to play the burn some stuff down game? I can play that game too. I'm on the same energy you on, and they gonna back off because they scared when they recognize that black people are like that. That's why they only try certain black people that they see are easy targets. These are very cowardly people. They only try people that are uh, the people that they try are pretty much in these categories of people. Mostly, they try elderly people, and I'm assuming, I don't know, but I'm assuming that this family is kind of elderly. They try elderly people, they try women, and they try children. They don't really, and when they do try black men, notice they don't ever just one-on-one a black man. It's a whole gang of them jumping on a black man. To be honest, they don't even really do that to a black woman either. It's not like a white woman versus a black woman. It's a whole gang of them doing that. They always gang up, or they always have some type of weapon on them, or something like that. They're too cowardly to face us like straight up. So they always have some type of advantage with them. You have to, as a black person, especially with resources and property and stuff, you got to be the type of black person who does not tolerate any of that. You work too hard to have them ruin that because they're insecure that you are not failing. You cannot do that. Okay. So my message to the family: I'm sorry for what you guys are going through, but y'all need to really put y'all foot down. Instead of them saying, "Oh my God, I'm scared to go out at nighttime," you need to be like, they need to be scared to go out at nighttime. That's what needs to happen.
Right.
Also important.
Right.
These types of stories get out there because this is the antithesis of their argument when they talk about, well, if you only work hard and if you pull yourself up by your bootstraps and just be a law-abiding citizen who studies and go to school, you'll make it in America. This is not the case. Okay, these are law-abiding citizens to the very T, and they're being harassed and they're being sabotaged and undermined. And we have several cases that are almost in pretty much exactly identical to this right here. Okay, so the whole pull yourself up by your bootstraps, that's a lie. Okay, that's not the case when it comes to black people, Foundation Black Americans specifically. Okay, so we know that's not the case. So this is why it's important for us to get these stories out here. But I don't want to hear these stories. What I want to hear is, yeah, y'all was doing that. The black family got fed up and they ended the problem. That's what I need to hear next time I report on a story like this. But family, let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. You can also follow me on my social media pages, which is at Afro Elite on Instagram and at the Afro Elite on Twitter. Please, before you guys go, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. Also, leave a thumbs up and share this to a family or friend and on your very social media platform, because that really does help the reach and growth of the channel. Thank you guys for watching and all of what you do. And with that being said, brothers and sisters, B1 salute to you all. You all have a good one.
Okay, Afro Elite. Okay, if I may say, I don't have a problem with that brother saying this, but we need our people to do the same thing too with Frontline Black News, and have, all pro-black media unify. And then we do have Cash App up there, Shabaka, San Corey, okay, to keep our platforms up as well too. So we don't mind, sharing videos as long as you're reciprocating, the same way. It's because this here can contribute to what they would call a GNP, or a gross national product, for all of us. And the gross national product just simply means the total amount of revenue that's generated in a certain realm, rather if it's in the community, rather if it's in the neighborhood, rather if it's in the nation, rather if it's worldwide. You see, it's because these clowns like Tweety Bird, Musk, Jeff Bezos, and them, the people over there at YouTube, they are making too much money. This is what's fucking up the economy right now. Okay, they saying people don't want to work. It's not a question that people don't want to work, but we are not going to go out here and work for $5 an hour while these bastards are making $2,800 an hour. See, that's bullshit. Okay, see, pimping ain't easy, and we have a right to survive. We have a right to exist. We also have a right to prosper, okay, if we're going to be quote unquote all inclusive. So therefore, idiots like Sarge and the Piankis and those who are full of self hatred because they have African blood in them, really they are to be pitied. And they need to look at two films that deals with this phenomenon. One of them is called The Imitation of Life. They made two versions of it, one in 1934 and one in 1959. Another film that needs to be looked at is called Band of Angels with Clark Gable and Yvonne DiCarlo that was made in 1957. And it just shows the hypocrisy of it. And then, of course, we got to check out my man Denzel, man, when he does Malcolm X.
Yeah, but Shabaka,
Yes,
shit,
sir.
I dozed off, yo. Oh, my bad. So the black farmers being terrorized. What are y'all closing thoughts on that?
Okay, with the black family being terrorized there in Colorado,
Yeah.
point number 7, lock and load. Straight out, because that's the only way that crap is going to end. They're going to have to lock and load. They have a right to survive. They have a right to exist, and they have a right to protect themselves. We'll see. And then when we get the Yasa bosses who are going to come in there like your Jeff Bartz, your Al Sharptons and all that, we just have to turn our back on them people. And then let's turn back the hands of time, black family. And I'm sure you remember this here, Brother Che. When Ferguson went down.
Yes.
When Mike Brown was murdered. Okay.
Yes.
And so I'm seeing RBGs everywhere. So Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton come to town. And our people there went and stepped to him and says, look, man, check this out. Get up out of here, man. That's over with. Just like over in Baltimore when the case with Freddie Gray here went down, and I really wish Brother Isaiah was here, our East Coast correspondent, okay, where you had a few black officers involved in that, and PK Boone had went over there and he had stepped one of these ass scratches, and he told him, hey, man, check this out. This pacifistic bullshit that you talking about, man, is passe, man. And PK Boone just told him, hey, man, I'm telling you as a man, if you get caught over here with that crap, man, we're not responsible. Okay. And I called in to show that PK Boone, man, had just hung up, and I wanted to invite PK Boone over to our platform. So of course, we wish PK Boone well. We wish the brothers well there in Ferguson, who told Jesse Jackson and Sharpton, hey man, take a hike. You're not gonna come over here and grandstand and exploit us with this bullshit. Just like what the brother was saying is what Al Sharpton is talking about. He's got books for sale. He's got this for sale. He's eligible for all these speaking engagements and stuff like that. But see, to me, that was very, very inappropriate, and very, very disrespectful, to Mr. Nichols' family. And it was also very, very disrespectful to Mr. George Floyd's family. And it was also very, very disrespectful of all the cases that are going unreported and that are not reported of where our people are being murdered by the police. So you said it right, Brother Paris. Defund them motherfuckers.
Yep, defund them.
Straight out.
Punish them.
Yeah, defund them. Because the police are nothing more than policy enforcers. They're not elected officials. At least the sheriff is an elected official. So that's where the people are speaking right there in their selection or election for the sheriff. And idiots like Sheriff Clark of Milwaukee County, he was a disgrace. And then, of course, as we do know that there's up there with our friends up there at Outlaw Radio, who is based out of Milwaukee. Definitely check out Kevin Barnes, and also too, Mr. Barnes, if you and the crew are checking us out right now, man, we are doing a special on Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced tonight. I did believe I did tag you in it. But social media, is limiting our exposure. They're doing it to Frontline Black News. They are doing it to Outlaw Radio, and they are also doing it to Black Eye Stand, as well, too.
And they definitely do their agenda.
Yeah. Well, of course. So what we have to do is that we got to keep it up in their face, and let's look at the hours that we're putting in to do it. You'll see.
Yeah.
So our chat room is open. I see nobody's chatting with us, which is okay. That just simply proves our point even further. Is because y'all cannot stand the truth, and particularly the brain dead Negroes. And this is why that the hashtag was created, resurrection of the mental dead. Okay. You see what I'm saying? You'll see. So that's why that hashtag was created. Yes, sir.
Lady Che, what are your thoughts on the black farmers?
Hey man, like I said before, well, when you ask me questions like that, I think in a whole nother level of, that's like 10 times ridiculous. After the first time, I'd have been over there just doing the most. And they would have had to call the law. The law would have had to fucking see it. But I think that I think that because I know I'm gonna have real estate and assets like and land and motherfucking my house. My wife is an asset. You know what I mean? My family is an asset. My livestock. My whatever I'm growing there or not growing there. I'm gonna look at it as I need to protect it because this is my future wealth for my children and their children. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna have to get a little. It's gonna have to get a little. It's gonna have to be some friction between me and the motherfucking white ass motherfucking farmers. And plus, I would tax the fuck out of them. Like they come over there, fuck with my fence, and taking a cow or two. Whatever my fence costs, that's how much your cattle costs. I'm taking a horse. I'm taking fucking like 10 chickens. I fuck. Let me take a part of your fence. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's the way I maneuver my brain, like just outside. But if I was on a farm and somebody did that to me, and not only am I gonna go cause all kind of hell, because they should fear me too. I shouldn't have to fear them. I was peacefully doing my shit over here, my family and my farm. Now I gotta go over there and act an ass, right? So I'm gonna tax you while I'm over there acting an ass. Acting ass, and I'm gonna take a fucking cow, a horse, whatever it costs for me to act an ass, because I had to come out of my character. I had to lower myself to this vibration. I had to make a scene, and I had to let them know, don't be coming around over here. Over here, this fence lights up. It heats up hot. It burns you. Not only will you'll come across a trip where you might end up in a hole, just walking around thinking that you're slick and fall into a trap. You know what I mean? Like, I'll get creative. None of that, but I want to have cameras. If I had a piece of land, I would put cameras and tripwires and, make sure that shit go. Wow, I would think that they're marauders. You know what I mean? I would treat them like marauders.
Right.
You coming to steal over here? Oh no, not today. But that's how I think regularly. I think like that anyway.
Yeah.
Like, so you asking me a question that I'm gonna answer is always gonna sound dangerous and reckless. But I'm scared. You know what I mean? That's how I fear to come out because I'm afraid that they're gonna hurt me, my family, or I'm gonna end up going. I'm white. Excuse me. The Caucasoid creates puts this little motherfucking they're designed that way to act an ass and make you feel some kind of way, to where you have to feel like you can't talk to them right sometimes because you try to be reasonable. They have no understanding. Then you got to come to this level, and now you're in fear of going to prison. See what I'm saying? It's fucked up. It's fucked up. I wish they could be reasonable, and we could dialogue. But at the end of the day, white supremacy don't do that. They don't do that. So, go ahead.
Okay. Well, thank you, Lady Che. Thank you, Shabaka. I'm gonna move to our next topic.
Sir.
He's so passive.
Yes, sir.
What were your final thoughts, sir?
Our thoughts and prayers go out to the families. They need to start waging back. They can't be intimidated by these redneck hillbilly white supremacists.
Yeah, they do what they're getting into.
Right.
On their property.
They knew what they're getting into.
Yeah, well, there's
this is 2023.
and then, of course, the words of
Exactly.
Go ahead, Shabaka.
Yes, sir. And to quote the words of Dr. Huey Percy Newton, when he was on the Sally Jesse Raphael show in 1989, shortly before, his murder, he had told Sally Jesse Raphael when Sally Jesse Raphael said, well, Huey, the Black Panther scared everybody. They scared everybody. And Dr. Newton clearly had stated that any time that you take away the slave image of the black male, you're going to scare white people.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to scare white people.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime that you take away that slave image, you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Did she die? Is she still alive?
Yeah.
She is still alive?
Who?
Sally Jesse Raphael.
I don't know. Okay, well, you could Google her. Yeah, with her being a public figure, she should come number one up in the search bar for your search.
Yeah.
All
right, carry on.
Yeah, Sally Jesse Raphael.
Yeah. I got a further debate later on for another show about Sally Jesse Raphael and Geraldo Rivera and Phil Donahue, because they were all at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. Now, hold on. Now, let me tell you something now. Now, let me say this here. Okay, it's because I was around at that time. I think I was y'all's age, in y'all's age group at that time. One thing about Phil Donahue that I have to give him his respect for, Phil Donahue had everybody up there. And I remember that Phil Donahue, I believe it had the former heavyweight champion up there, Muhammad Ali. And this woman calls in and says to Phil, well, Phil, I really do like your show, and I'm a fan, but you got this guy out here who's full of so much hate. And you know what Phil said? He says, ma'am, the only thing I guarantee on my platform is provocative conversation. It's not a question if I endorse what he said. It's not a question if I don't endorse what he says. I just have it out there because they're in the light. A shout out there, too, to Sister Soldier, who went on a forum with Cornel West, Tony Brown, Sharon Pratt Kelly, who was the mayor of Washington, D.C. at the time. This was late 80s, early 90s. And she says, well, where are these good white folks at? Is because Sister Soldier had crumb-bombed on the educational system. She had crumb-bombed on the society. See, and I did have it up on my wall. So therefore, Sister Soldier, if you ever get a chance and if you hear us, please call us, on our platforms of Frontline Black News, ma'am, and we'll be happy to have you, and we will even give you a guest host spot on Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, which is a division of Frontline Black News. We would love to have you, Sister Soldier. And then also, too, to any of the generations who are descendants of Dr. Newton, Chairman Fred Hampton Jr., Geronimo Pratt, you're more than welcome to join us as well, too. It's because you have lived through it, and we really would like your insight, is because what's happening here, particularly with social media, is that they are suppressing truth. You see, when you look at the Sarges and Piankis and what have you, them brain dead Negroes, you know what I'm saying, proves our point even further. And like I said, Pianki, if you're listening, if you get wind of this, I don't hate you, brother. If any damn thing, man, I feel very, very sorry for you. Well, I really do. I really do. Same thing with you too, Sarge. I don't hate you. You all can hate me all you want. But I feel very, very sorry for you guys. I really do. Because the chain is on your fucking brain.
Yeah, you're right. All right, so I'm moving on.
Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. Absolutely.
And that is the update on the Denver marriage race. So, bad news, Black family. I didn't make the ballot. But it's not over. Not over to the fat lady or whatever it seems. So I'm running as a write-in. The election is April 4th. There's actually a lawsuit against the Elections Division. I hope and pray it goes through. So everybody that's on the ballot right now will have to go redo all their petitions.
as well as they should,
Mm-hmm. For sure.
and
because. And if I may say, Brother Parrish, not interrupted, but I don't see them out there on Sunday mornings, man. When you go over there, man, feeding the senior citizens over there at the Dahlia Senior Apartment. And when I'm going to keep emphasizing this point, because I've seen you doing it in the heat, I saw you do it in the rain, I saw you do it in below zero weather. And so, where are you, Denver mayoral candidates who are so concerned about the people? Why are you all not out here helping this brother? And Cancun, your town, and Cancun, your time, I throw you in the garbage can, man. Just like with London Bridge, just like with Eric Adams, just like with Karen Bass. You all are some very, very toxic individuals.
Mm-hmm.
You are garbage to me. And you welcome to come on the Frontline Black News. We'll be happy to have you. You know what I'm saying? But you're going to be respectful on our platform. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know. And then also, too, we are going to let it be known, Brother Che and Lady Che, okay? So, and we got to get with the anchor man as well, too. Okay, are we going to allow hidden callers to call us?
cool.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you know the one. Yeah, you know the ones who come up there with all them 11111.
I don't know, man. I think we should check it out because any caller could be positive or negative. I think that we always stay ready, so I don't think it really matters to us. It's their dime. You know what I mean? We got
Okay. All righty.
conversations. Depends on how they want it, you know. The ball is in their court when they dial the number.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And then of course I'm putting it out there, I'm putting it out there, Brother Che. I have to dig through the records, but we do got Pianki's phone number, which is out to 314 area code. Okay, because I got it tagged. I have to go through there, and who knows? Maybe we might even give Mr. Pianki a call and send him some text and stuff like that to the links to our shows. Okay, now the reason why we like an idiot like Pianki is because he is comical and he is the classic example of a Negro with a chain on his brain. And and when we will have Pianki up there for entertainment purposes only, and we also, Brother Che, are putting him in the same category as you referred to him as a while back, the Sample Ramble Negro.
Yeah, Sample Ramble.
I put that out there for Khalid too.
I'm sorry.
Khalid be doing that shit to me too. You be acting like he's like
Khalid.
Khalid, yeah, Khalid.
Khalid Sabaz.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like,
yeah. I'm familiar with him.
Yeah, sometimes we be having these conversations. I'm like, oh my God, is he really saying this shit right now?
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Alrighty. I didn't know that about the brother, but I'll check him out. You know what I'm saying? I'll check him out.
He's like combative, or you know what I mean? Like not combative, but he's definitely not on the B1 agenda. He's on some all inclusive shit. Yeah, he's ready kumbaya.
No, he's on the Pan Africanism.
Yeah, and he's still kumbaya.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like really.
Pan Africanism.
Well,
it was Garvey. Yeah, but it was Garvey that brought us the concept of the Pan Africanism.
Yeah, it's been one-sided.
Yeah.
You couldn't get nothing popping in Jamaica because of it.
Okay, and that is one of the reasons why they had barred Garvey from the U.S. when they deported him. And I believe Minister Malcolm had spoke of something on that in his autobiographies because Malcolm's father was a Garveyite.
Yes, my great-grandparents were Garveyites too. But I got a movie song.
Okay.
Just like
yes, sir, absolutely, yeah.
So the Denver mayor's race is underway, and I was going to show a few articles Got the Denver Post, the Gazette, and somebody else put up. But these are the people that are were running last month. So I'm on here. Let's don't scroll to me. Here we go. Just LaShawn Paris. Paris is no stranger to city politics and speaks at almost every city council meeting. He introduced himself as the next mayor of Denver and is running on a platform for the poor and forgotten Black populations of Denver.
Hard pause.
Okay.
Is that it? Okay, carry on.
So then we have a neo-Nazi in the race. His name is Andy Roger. And he's a Republican.
Okay.
And this article says that he has a chance in the mayor's race.
Ooh-wee. Hard pause. Like that hard pause, guys. There's very hard pause. All right, go ahead. Yeah.
So Andre or Andy Rose is an odd duck in the Denver's mayor's race. What's happening? It's from Axios Denver. What's happening? He's running as a law and order, less government Republican in the state's Democratic Center.
It is amusing. Carry on.
Where the conversation is focused on.
No, it's worse than that.
Where the conversation is focused on how the city is overhauling police and boosting the social network net or safety net. Yes, but 34-year-old former small business owner and son of Jean-Andre Rose, the CEO of beauty supplier Sephora. Is it Sephora?
Sephora. What? Oh, no wonder he could fund his own shit.
Has a real chance of finishing near the top in the crowded race and securing a spot in the inevitable June runoff election.
Because it's only because he got money. That's why. That's the only reason. Because that's the only reason. They used that whole paragraph before that didn't say shit except fucking that motherfucker real life Nazi. Right? But other than that, what his father did, that just that title alone or the name of the name brand of that is what he could find why he could fund his own shit. But like honestly, come on, for real, he only did like one commercial and fucking whatever speech he did with Kyle Clark or whatever he did.
We're gonna get to that next because we gotta break that down. All the lies that were spewed in that interview. He loaned his campaign $500,000.
He loaned
and left open. Yeah, it says he's loaned his campaign $500,000 and left open the possibility he put in more to get out his message.
How the fuck is he gonna loan his own shit? How is he gonna get paid for it back? How are you gonna pay himself back? What if he
Don't worry, his father bail him out.
Man, that's stupid. That don't even make sense. Does that sentence make sense? Or am I dumb? Does that sentence make sense to you? Real? Shabaka.
No, because always keep in mind that 2 + 2 = 4. It does not equal 5.
Right.
And it does not equal 3. And any other figure other than 4 is insignificant. So that's non sequitur.
He loaned his campaign.
It's non sequitur.
He loaned himself that.
So once again, that the dude ought to just go on and say that he invested in himself because he wants to be the mayor. I would have more respect for him if he said that, but to go up there to say he loaned it to himself. Now, the only way I could see him loaning it to himself is that he had got a corporation, because as you know, a corporation is a legal entity. You know,
Well,
case in
his
point.
father has a
Okay.
corporation.
Hey, wait. We're asking the wrong questions. We're asking the wrong
Ah.
questions. We're asking the wrong
Oh.
questions.
Oh.
That's the right question to ask.
That explains everything.
No, wait.
Then that explains everything.
You're asking the wrong question here, man.
Yeah.
Wrong question.
That explains everything. Okay. So which means is that this fool.
If he loaned himself money, let's just back this track up real quick. Let's ask the right question though. If he loaned himself, loaned the campaign himself, basically, right? All this bread to run this motherfucking campaign, right? Just to sit there and not really say except fucking, whatever, right? What collateral did he put up?
Yeah, well, see, that's just see, but what it is.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and then okay, so what it is that okay, if you incorporate your name, that's a legal separate entity from from your person. You see what I'm saying? Okay, because you could have Jesse Paris, the individual, then you could have Jesse Paris Incorporated, which are two different legal entities. So therefore, if Jesse Paris, the person, owes back taxes for 1 million years, and Jesse Paris Incorporated is up to date on their taxes, they cannot go to the corporation to get the back tax money from the individual. This is why they do this, you see. And that there is Econ 101 right there. You see, that's Econ 101 right there.
Thanks to George
Yeah.
Bush.
Oh,
okay, what happened now? Due to Bush Jr., what happened?
Corporations are people.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Rough as a motherfucker, but goddamn, man, none of this shit makes sense. Like at the end of the day, it's rough as like motherfuckers think, oh, you just shit from the streets, you don't really got no motherfucking no actual formal education. But I'm telling you, just from a person that had a logical sense, none of that made any sense, and none of that not only that, but what capital did he put up? His first board? I mean, what if he loses? How's he gonna get his bread back? Secondly, is this a form of laziness because he didn't want to fundraise like all the other white ducks? I mean, what else is going on right there?
He's a Republican. He knows he don't stand a chance unless he got money.
Yeah, but you all know the Democrats fund the Republicans. The Republicans back up the Democrat shit, so he can get money.
Even though our race is supposed to be nonpartisan.
That don't matter.
Lawsuit is about because they're violating the Spear Amendment.
Exactly.
You're not supposed to know if somebody's a Democrat or a Republican in our race.
Right. But listen, when has Denver government, the city and county of Denver, in regards to this, ever followed their own motherfucking rules?
Not in 60 years.
Exactly. So that doesn't make sense.
Right.
When they're talking to city council, it's like two sentences. One says one thing and the other sentence fucking contradicts it, and we're just supposed to go along with it and just be like,
double speed.
Yeah, that's what this is. This whole little sentence that you just read is like a fucking act of mass racist confusion right there. He just didn't want to go do it. You know what I mean? Like, what happens when you lose?
He's going back.
He's gonna be outside.
His mommy and daddy are gonna pay for him.
Man. He's like epitome of what the white family was looking like back then, like children of the corn, plain white Jane white, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we're going back to Green Acres. He'll be going back to Green Acres, and in leadership.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead,
yeah.
So what they're saying is, if he can target his base appropriately and broaden his base to folks who might be Democrats but share his concerns, that could be a powerful candidate, said Steve Wilcart, a veteran Democratic consultant.
Let's focus on the fact that fool was acting like he was riding the light rail, right? For real.
But
he had a corner of a black person. And that motherfucker probably was about this in his motherfucking commercial. A corner, okay? a piece. Just like when Jared Polis read his motherfucking ad, he had one black person and a half. Okay,
Yeah.
but in
Wow.
its motherfucking commercial, I think he rotated the same corner of the black person. Yeah, because
Yeah.
he was like a
Yeah.
corner here, an arm there. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man, are we really gonna allow this? Like, he was looking at the city downtown. He was riding the light rail, having contemplative moments. Fuck him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
even over
Totally.
the face.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He got
Totally.
now. Like, he looked like he got balder and older in like 1 month since he did that. You know what I mean? Shirt
Wow.
all extra tight and shit. Like, come on, man. Come on. Say, hey, stress already? Yeah. And
Yeah.
he want to
Look at
use
this
some of your talking.
Archie Bunker. Look at this modern day Archie Bunker.
That's the black family.
No. Wow.
Like nowadays.
Oh my God.
They just forget.
Yeah.
You gotta feel dog by them too. They
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
only thing that's
Well,
missing is
actually,
the fucking dog. The only thing that's missing from this
Okay.
picture is the dog.
It's probably lower.
Wow. My
Yeah,
God.
area is.
Andy will fight for Denver's future.
Man, y'all
Man,
for
please.
anybody other than Jesse, you're making a erroneous error, okay? And you're gonna be fucked.
Okay, so wait a minute. So this trick is saying build a safer Denver. Crime has almost tripled in Denver, and we deserve a better. Andy will fight to make every neighborhood in Denver safe by putting the security of law-abiding citizens first. Oh God, another demon. Okay. He will enforce the camping ban. Homelessness in Denver has more than doubled in recent years. Enforcing the camping ban is not only the right thing to do, but it is the humane thing to do. We need to reach out our hand to help get people off the street, and enforcing the camping ban will encourage the homeless to take advantage of the services needed to get them back on their feet. Okay, now let me tell you what that is right there. That's it.
Everybody
okay, so
when we say it, they don't accept it.
Yeah. So, he wants everybody to go out there and work for peanuts at McDonald's. That's all that is.
No, but listen.
Yeah.
Listen to how he worded it, Shabaka. He said something like, where does he go up there? He said, go up a little bit, Jesse, where he's like, he said, fuck it, no, go up one more, right there. The humane thing to do. It's the humane thing to do. Isn't that what people say when they put down their animal?
Right? Yeah, when they take it to the humane society.
Right. No, but look it. If black people, if black family out here, if you vote for this fool, right? If you thought we were getting murdered before in Denver,
oh God,
or we were going to jail before in Denver, we gonna go
nothing. Yeah.
Right. The motherfuckers just gonna be magically dying left and right because it's the humane thing to do. That's what using.
Okay. The humane thing to do would be is to take that budget money that you funding all them cops with, and get those women and children and men, some hotel vouchers now, particularly for the women and the children. Okay, you see what I'm saying? The men folk, give them a week, then give the women and children 2 weeks. Especially so you giving mama.
Family homelessness is up in Denver. And this like there's no sleeps going on. He acts like there's nobody, no encampments. They're not getting swept every week. Everything is hunky dory, and they just need to enforce the camping ban because they're not doing it, and people are just camping everywhere. So we have to enforce the camping ban if it wasn't already being enforced already.
Carry on. Carry on.
And then here's that bullshit about housing prices in Denver have tripled, and the dream of home ownership is too far out of reach for many Denver residents. We need to make sure that we have enough housing in the city of Denver so that everyone can afford to live here, whether they are purchasing or renting.
Is that hard?
Denver's future.
Okay, now let me ask you this question.
Fuck no.
I agree with you, brother. Say, now I got a question. Now I got a question on that right there. Okay, well, why doesn't he sit up here and propose? Well, guess what? You know, we got say office space here that's available, and it's unoccupied.
He's not.
Okay, so why don't we?
That was suggested at the boot camp that he attended. That's the only time I've seen this neo-Nazi. Was at the boot camp that Downtown Denver Partnership put on in the last year.
Yeah. Let's pause right there and not mention them again because you know got stuff coming up, Jesse. But I will say this though, really like his shit. Oh man. I was trying like I gotta shut up. Just shut up. Carry on, Jesse.
Stay.
That's like going on.
In a 17-way race, there's 17 people that made the ballot. Where the top Democratic candidates are striving to reach north of 20% of the vote. Rose enters with a potential base of support. No, I enter with a base of support. I'm outside of Debbie Ortega. I'm the only one that has run for political office.
But what they're saying, Jesse, I think what they're saying there is that, like, that would have been that statement you just made. Yeah, that's the truth. However, I'm gonna say however, our people decided to let us down and not actually stand on what they said they needed. So it looks like this for us.
Oh, I take that back. Ian too. Ian ran for city council before. We're the only 3 candidates that have actually run for political office, and Debbie Ortega's won more times than I can count.
But the thing is, man, okay, you're only addressing one part of that statement. All right, go ahead, Garrett. Go ahead.
So he enters the race with basic support. At least 10% of the city's voters are registered Republicans. Oh God, the ballots won't list their party affiliation. They're not supposed to. That's called the Spear Amendment. The race is technically nonpartisan. It's supposed to be nonpartisan. It's called the Spear Amendment.
Right.
Okay.
And his top campaign issues addressing crime and homelessness also resonate with voters experiencing rising rates in both areas. In 2019, an overwhelming 81% of Denver voters who were lied to, and told that we can do better, uphold the urban camping ban, the current urban camping ban. What he's saying, when I talk to people in Denver, white people, they are fed up. Rose told Axios Denver in an interview this week. He also told Kyle Clark something that we're going to get to real soon. What he's saying, I meet people who say I'll vote for anybody regardless of background, regardless of their history, as long as they can say that they were enforced the camping ban. The camping ban is being enforced. So who are these idiots that you're talking to?
Well, oh my God.
That's double speak.
Oh my God.
That's rhetoric.
I'm going to
double speak. That's rhetoric.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, the fool is the rhetorician, man. Yeah, no, it's double speak. It's a rhetorician. So basically, what this man is did is pissing on people, telling them it's rain. He's pulling down his pants and defecating on people like he's at the toilet and telling them it's snow.
No, man, that's
what he's doing. And that fool is welcome to give us a call today at 516-418-5996, and we'll be on the air in 90 minutes. And if he don't dig it, he is welcome to call in at there and let the people hear what he's got to say and let the people respond to him. Now, fool, when you don't call, that tells us something as well, too. Okay? The truth hurts.
Mm-hmm.
You see? And then if Bianchi is out there, if Joe Gibson is out there, and if Sarge, with your self-hating asses are out there, you're welcome to call in today in 90 minutes on our special edition at 516-418-5996. And if you out there, Mr. Talk, you've always been respectful, sir. We would love to have your input. And the dude's name, Amos, you was respectful until you had your idiots on your podcast yesterday, sir. You're welcome to give us a call, too. And I think, too, Brother Che, that up on Blog Talk Radio, they should see it, up there. Not so much up on the front page, but, in the, I'm not going to use the word timeline, but let's just say off in the logs, I think, but I'm not sure. And so once again, I got to get up here and go over this manual on it as well too. So you see, folks, here at Frontline Black News, we're busy. We're real busy. You know what I'm saying? Lady Che, she's doing a revolutionary agenda. Brother Che, he's running for mayor, trying to make a positive change. I myself doing Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, on the road, at home, at work, and things of that nature right there, folks. So therefore, hit that Cash App. Shabaka's San Corey, $ Shabaka San Corey. Hit the Cash App for Brother Parrish for Mayor of Denver, Colorado. Is because, see, this is the only way that a proper change is going to be made. And what I mean by a proper change, at the grassroots, later for Elon Musk, later for Bezos and what have you. And the next time you stupid bastards get up there in your spaceship, do the planet Earth a favor and fly directly to the sun and take all your family with you, take all your supporters with you, damn sure take the dump with you and do humanity a favor and just simply fly directly into the sun.
Take the DeSantis with you too.
Oh, yes, sir. Absolutely. Without a doubt. And be sure to put Bianchi on there, too. Yeah, and be sure to put Bianchi and Sarge on there. Better yet, let Bianchi and Sarge fly the ship.
Fly the ship.
They're intelligent. They're intelligent.
And Big Subwoofer.
Okay, say that again about Mount Rushmore.
They had the video for the Big Subwoofer, and they were flying the ship.
Oh. Okay.
But back to this ridiculous article about this neo-Nazi. He said that he will reduce crime and make housing more affordable. How? The other side, Denver, hasn't elected a Republican mayor in more than 6 decades, dating back to Richard Batterton, who left office in 1961. Rose is also working with national GOP consultants, I bet he is, and campaigning in a state where his party brand is toxic right now, a pitfall he acknowledged. I think it's important for us as a city to be focused on somebody who can deliver and fight for our future instead of national political issues, he said. The fucking audacity. Between the lines, the other mayoral candidates in the race are emphasizing their experience as leaders in local and state government and nonprofits, setting them apart from Rose, a first-time candidate with no local government experience. Details. The fact he's not a politician and his desire to upend City Hall is an element that Rose thinks will appeal to voters. Unlike other candidates, he's even willing to put challenging and unreachable benchmarks to his goals. Is he going to donate half of his salary back to the people?
Yeah. See, good question. You see what I'm saying? And then on top of it,
is he going to put an office in the city jail?
Yeah.
Is he going to do anything for anybody besides rich, white, affluent crackers like himself?
Right.
Rose says he would end unsheltered homelessness entirely. No, the fuck, you're not. By moving people camping in public places to shelters or issue citations. He would
Oh,
hire
already.
he would hire hundreds more police and,
Oh my god.
reduce
Mm-mm.
crime to 2014 levels,
Oh my
the
god.
lowest in the
Mm-mm.
last decade. And he
Oh
pledged to
my
make
God.
housing more affordable by shortening permitting times and cutting regulations to build.
Oh yeah.
Zoom in. Rose says his military experience also sets him apart. I am a father, a small business owner, and a veteran. And I think that
What did
resonates.
he serve?
He enlisted in the U.S. Army in 2011 and became an intelligence
Mm-hmm.
officer for the Cavalry Squadron stationed at Fort Carson in Colorado Springs. He says he later served
Mm-hmm.
as a platoon leader.
Mm-hmm.
He resigned as a first lieutenant and was armably discharged in December 2014, according to the portion of his military record provided to Axios Denver. He was later promoted to captain in the inactive reserves.
Mm-hmm.
The intrigue. He volunteered for a 105-day deployment with the Army Rangers of Afghanistan in 2013, where he served as a daytime intelligence officer for the 3rd Battalion. He worked to prevent suicide bomb attacks in the
Ooh.
capital of Kabul through the drone operation from Forward Operating Base Shank.
That's what makes him a contender. Mm-hmm.
He said, between the lines, he is mentioned prominently on his website, which we just went to, Andy for Denver, and some media outlets have reported he served as an Army Ranger. Rose says that's not accurate and told us that he would get it corrected. A
Mm-hmm.
spokesperson for the U.S. Army Ranger Association tells us the language for Rose's website is fair, though some former local Rangers have expressed concerns about his association with their unit. Ooh. Of
Mm-hmm.
note, Rose gives received glowing reviews for his service in Afghanistan from
Mm-hmm.
the battalion's major, who called him an extremely capable intelligence officer, able to perform at levels above his grade, and
Mm-hmm.
his leadership ability and unlimited potential. His records show.
That means he's a good dog.
He's a good neo-Nazi.
Mm-hmm. He does what he's told. That's why he's a kid.
Okay.
That's why he's a contender. You see, what fairly what you don't realize is that because he has so much intelligence, fucking
Mm-hmm.
experience, right? That he could be, he could be molded into doing whatever the puppetry wants.
Look at
You know what
this
I mean?
cone head looking motherfucker.
Mm-mm.
Think about
Oh,
it
he
like
looks
that.
one
Look
of
at
them
all
damn
the people
Wow.
in the CIA with the FBI and all that shit. This motherfucker right here is prime
Yeah.
real estate for opposition. Real shit. Real prime.
Yeah.
He's like the
A
prime
Republican
candidate.
has not won here in 6 decades.
It don't
This
matter.
fool don't stand no chance.
It don't matter, Jesse. It don't matter. It don't matter. You see why? Because he already put his money up. He put his money up,
Mm-hmm.
right? He put up his money. So he might say some shit that he might have done some shit or whatever that the Rangers didn't like, or whatever. But he also got some ass kissing motherfuckers that, oh yeah, he's a good guy, blah 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 blah. Because it's always soldier first before anything else. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like whatever, cause like at the end of the day, he got his own bread. He's talking that hot boy shit, the downtown Denver partnership out of here, So he right there, he's prime white real estate.
Yeah.
They want that. They gonna want that because he's moldable.
He
He's the
represents their interests.
he represents what politicians are supposed to look like with a little wife, with a little kid. You know what I mean? Clean cut, white. Do you know what I mean? A little bit of money, white,
Green Acres.
white. Talking that hot boy shit.
Wow.
Don't know what's going on, really, really, because I was like, remember when I wrote out his shit? I was like, not today, sir. Well, we let a motherfucking Nazi do this shit. I like not today, not a fucking
Wow.
Like I remember I was terrorizing
Yeah.
for a little bit. You know what I mean? And he disappeared for like a whole 2 months
I
after I
gotta
left
play
that
his
shit.
stupid ass video. Shabaka, watch this. I think I played this shit before, but
Play it on YouTube because I left it on YouTube. YouTube. I left them a whole ugly ass
Let
comment.
me take a look at this.
Is this a commercial? Yeah. That's that first commercial, huh?
mm-hmm.
That shit was fucked up.
It was fucked up. We need to help those that already have the means to help themselves.
I'm gonna go see what he lived like for real, for real. You know, all these motherfuckers act like they got the answers. They're the ones living in the most sin.
Denver is the greatest city.
Oh, your comments gone, baby.
There's this energy here.
It is up there?
The city built.
Yeah, he deleted it.
Opportunity for people to build businesses, for people
So what does that tell you?
You want to hear what I had to say?
In my time in the Army, I was a military intelligence officer. There's no more impact you can have in the world than saving lives in a foreign country while responsible for 30 men. So, Army version of me says,
look at him on the train.
I ain't never seen that motherfucker on no light rail at all. And we take the motherfucker bus to light rail all the time.
That's the piece of the black person.
Wow.
Has the same issues.
Wow.
Doesn't matter when they moved here. Doesn't matter why they moved here.
That's the piece of a black person.
Yeah,
one black person.
And neither of those were foundational black Americans.
No.
We've talked a lot about how these are issues, but we haven't done anything about it. We need America's action to deliver.
Oh, God.
I took over a small business.
Man, they need to put his ass in an insane asylum. That fool does not need to be elected. He needs to be committed.
Right.
That is a day when I am asking a lot out of them, and I can't ask that unless I'm willing to do it myself. I will do the same as Mayor Denver. I will put the people of Denver ahead of myself. Forcing a camping ban is not only the right thing to do, it's the humane thing.
Oh my God.
Getting people to take that hand that's been reached out to them. We have to actually help
getting people to take that hand that's been reached out to them so you can chop it off.
No, man. I just want to say this, like, family. You know that when if you hear people like when I say something like that, but I don't say it like that, you know, like, hey, you're gonna do this or this, you know what I mean? Like it's always a bad thing, but this motherfucker can say it's kosher. Make that make sense, and y'all will agree with that. Like that don't make sense. That don't even. It's not even a. I don't have no understanding for that. You know what I mean? If we want to put the motherfucking city,
we have to help these people help themselves.
In an old terroristic
this
way.
Motherfucker said something that was a dog whistle for real. He said we have to help those help themselves.
Right. That's that motherfucking dude for like the fat white dude that comes on city council that we don't like, Craig.
Yeah.
That's like what he say. You know, that's not like a typical Craig comment. But where the fuck is this dude been at city council? He never.
This dude is funding Craig. They're all part of the same organization. Remember that chick Hillary that was running against Leslie, and I pulled up that organization, some shit about clean safe Denver.
Oh, is he? Oh, you old dry snitching that man. Real life snitches right there. Danger.
Okay, let me interject here, man. I got a hater right here. You know, on my post that I put up here on Facebook today, I said Ron DeSantis should be recalled. And I'm not going to say this individual's name. And then this clown is going to come back and say none of the black history in school is worth a damn. And I just put a request in there to him to say, please specify. Hey, boy.
I would say they don't teach anything of realistic value other than the fucking points that everybody's talking about, that they've gotten used to talking about. So they haven't really expanded on actual Black history. And if they only talk about Black history in February, of course he's gonna feel like that. You know what I mean?
But let me finish up this video, y'all.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Um,
I'm
so
thoroughly
he
ready
wants to enforce the camping ban,
now.
and number 3, he wants to crack down on crime.
I wish you guys would. He ought come over my neighborhood and see if
Apparently, he didn't get the damn memo that more police does not equal less crime.
All right. Let's go equal more crime. Watch.
I care because not only do I live here, but I'm raising a family here.
Oh my God.
I have a 2-year-old daughter.
Susie May might get hurt walking to the park.
Where she's safe. Our political class is not putting the people of Denver first. People want to live in a safe community. People want lower crime. People want to be.
There's a piece of a Black person. He had one whole Black person in this whole video.
They rotated
and he had a Latino.
And they were in rotation through the whole commercial. He could afford to hire any more Black people.
They just want someone who's actually delivered on those issues. I've delivered as a veteran, delivered as a small business owner, delivered as a father. My name is Andy Rougeau. I will deliver as mayor.
No, you won't. No, you won't, you fucking neo-Nazi.
Either way, you're going to follow the same line of motherfucking corruption as the motherfucking mayor's reform for the last motherfucking 15, 20 years, whatever.
So his slogan is deliver for Denver. And they got another candidate talking about deliver on the promise for Denver. What the fuck?
I'm like, and none of you actually deliver shit except fucking
right.
Ugh. We going all day. Don't let me get started, man. I went off yesterday.
So this is the latest article from the Denver Post. We don't have time to read it, but basically it's saying that these people that's running, they're all getting the fair election dollars except for 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where they stand on certain issues.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably an RBA topic right there.
Mm-mm.
But as Hancock in his State of the City address. No, this is when he got inaugurated. My apologies. This is when he got inaugurated back in 2011. And he didn't have his hair then either. And there's right there in a red dress, that's Debbie Ortega.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
So getting to this Kyle Clark situation. Denver mayoral candidate racks up 7 false claims in one interview. Andy Rose is having no trouble raising mayoral fund money. Is he really raising the money though?
No, he's just being lazy and paying for it at his daddy's account.
He loaned himself $500,000. But the only Republican in the race is having trouble with the truth. I bet he is.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like
Andy Rose is running for mayor with the slogan "Fight for Denver's Future." His current battle is with telling the truth.
Kyle's a villain.
Rose made 7 false statements in a recent campaign interview, ranging from obvious falsehoods about other candidates in the race to instances where he appeared generally confused about city issues and policies.
Mm-hmm.
Rose rattled off a string of falsehoods. Just say lies. Just keep it plain and simple. Just say lies.
All tales.
Yeah. During an appearance Wednesday on George Brockler's, top radio show, 710 KNUS. The centerpiece of Rose's campaign is his small business experience. He owns a company that provides maintenance and security gates for self-storage facilities.
See
that's what he does.
See what I'm talking about?
Rose falsely claimed he's the only candidate with actual business experience. Fellow candidate Kwame Spearman, that's the black white boy, is the CEO of Tattered Cover Bookstores.
That used to be my favorite place.
Kelly Bruh, that's the white girl that used to work under Hickenlooper,
That's one sucked.
ran the Denver Metro Chamber of Commerce. Thomas Wolfe, he's another suspected white supremacist, is an investment banker. Aurelio Martinez, we're cool with Aurelio, has run a restaurant and business center. Chris Hansen, that's the motherfucker from the State House, from the Senate, works in the clean energy sector, and Robert Tretta is a developer. I've owned and operated a business in Denver for 27 years, building residential homes and commercial properties, Tretta said. I've been doing this nonstop since 1996. I don't know how he talked about being the only candidate with business experience. Rose falsely said all the other candidates are all sort of career politicians. The field of 17 candidates for Denver mayor includes approximately 10 candidates who could fairly be described as new or relatively new to politics. Rose inaccurately claimed that he was the only candidate who will enforce the camping ban. Several other candidates have prominently said they will enforce the camping ban, including Chris Hansen and Trinidad Rodriguez. At a recent event, Colorado Public Radio Sam Blacc took a photo of multiple candidates raising their hands when asked if they enforced the camping ban. Guess whose hand did not go up? Mine.
Yeah. I remember that. You're like the only one.
Falsely claimed that Denverites have built homes are waiting a year for a certificate of occupancy to move into the property. Denver Community Planning and Development tracks delays in permitting through an online dashboard. The city has wrestled with long delays in initial permitting, stretching longer than 200 days. But Rose's campaign was unable to provide any evidence of his claim that the city is delaying occupancy of already finished homes by 12 months. Community Planning and Development said the city final city sign-off to receive a certificate of occupancy generally takes 1 to 2 business days. If someone is claiming that processing a CO is a year, it's taking a year, then there will be a larger issue at play, said Community Planning and Development spokeswoman Laura Schwartz. That is a nearly impossible scenario. Unless something at the project was not built according to approved plans, it needs to be fixed. Rose falsely claimed or blamed Denver's pedestrian deaths on jaywalking by people experiencing homelessness. We're having a spike of pedestrian deaths, mostly caused by homeless individuals cutting across busy streets, he said in KNUS. That's really how I talk.
News then.
The medical examiner statistics show that most pedestrians killed in 2022 weren't homeless.
I know when I got hit. I know when I got hit, I wasn't homeless.
The same is true. The same is true for 2021 and 2020, according to the Office of Statistics. Rose's campaign pointed 9 News to city statistics on blunt force trauma deaths, which the medical examiner's office says included other causes of death, including suicides, falls, and people hit by trains. Rose inexplicably claimed that he is the only mayoral candidate who isn't receiving matching taxpayer funding through the city's new fair elections fund.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud I'm the only candidate who is not taking that funding,
Mm-hmm.
Rose said. There are 4 mayoral candidates who are not receiving fair election funding. Rose's most shocking claim in the KNUS interview, also offered without evidence, was that some mayoral candidates are paying themselves salaries out of their campaign funds
Hey, look, wait, pause right there. I
to
don't think
fake
that's a
running for
lie.
mayor.
I don't think that's a lie at all. Like, I really don't think that's a lie at all. I mean, like, motherfuckers be do the most. Like, they can afford to go and promote their shit out of the state. You know what I mean? They throw fancy little fiestas. You know what I mean? They doing a lot. They got all these the alleged volunteers, but aren't really volunteers because they're paid. You know what I mean? Like, for
Yeah.
real, just think about it like that. I don't really think he's necessarily wrong.
Mhm.
I think you're right on track. They just go cover up that part of the truth. You mean because man, I don't have these conversations. Like I
Yeah.
don't think he's wrong. I just think that he did. You know, he's right on that one particular thing. He just can't prove it because that evidence don't exist. It's magically disappeared. Like in certain people when they got cured, like at the very last minute where they were bright red for like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And all of a sudden they had 2 packages come up, just show up there.
Yeah. Mysteriously.
Like, for real. Like just think about it. The corruption is real. But when you can pay for your own motherfucking finance, you can pay your own shit. You know, that right there was like he couldn't prove it because shit just pressed delete and went up to the clouds where they got deleted again. But I don't think he's wrong on that one particular piece.
Everything else, though,
Oh yeah, everything else is a fucking he's out of the loop. So they say.
um, a elections division spokeswoman said such an action would violate campaign finance laws.
Oh my god, what about Leslie? Like, come on, man, let's not get started. How much fucking violations have they already committed? Too many to count in this fucking like 4 months. Four last quarters. So I just think that of course you're gonna say that. Man, like that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's wrong on that one particular thing. They just can't prove it.
Rose's campaign declined to tell Nine News which candidates she believes are paying themselves salaries. Nine News reviewed the expenditure records of all 17 candidates and found no evidence to support Rose's claim.
Yeah, if you go on search, like, of course, that's the basic shit.
Plus, for specifics, Rose's campaign said the salaries are being hidden through payroll companies.
I think he's telling the truth right there. I think
Nine News contacted the 2 mayoral campaigns that list expenditures to payroll companies. Both volunteered to allow Nine News to review their payroll forms. The forms provided offered no evidence to suggest Rose's claim of illegal salaries being paid to mayoral candidates.
Dude, if you're committing some sort of election bullshit, do you think you would turn in the paperwork that would admit that? Of course it's not going to be there. This little fucking duck move. Come on, cuz. For real? You're committing actual fraudulent white crime right there. You really think you're going to turn in the paperwork? Of course they're not going to find it. Oh, dumbass. That's stupid.
A Denver election spokeswoman said the office would investigate the issue if Rose files a formal complaint.
Yeah, it was like those formal complaints really go anywhere, as we know for a fact. Okay, they just say that if we found insufficient evidence of such a claim, like that, you'll get one of those letters, like we did. Yeah? And it was we were clearly telling the truth, but they won't acknowledge it. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they get selective about the truth.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
They'll send one of those
Yeah, they get selective about the truth. And then keep in mind, this type of individual, man, uh, he's got a little bit of Ronald Reagan in him that I see.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
the
big time.
former
Yeah.
governor of California, and this dude here. Only thing I can say, man, he's dangerous. Now, what makes him dangerous is that he's self-righteous. Okay,
Yeah.
and based on the information that you read related
Make a
to,
fucking hot boy statement. You're gonna do that, man.
yeah.
You're going broke. Make a hot boy statement.
Look how much money these motherfuckers are raising, though.
I
Look at
know.
this.
There's
Oh,
people
my money.
to death outside not eating.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, you see.
I'm at the very bottom.
They raising
I'm
money
literally
for
at the very bottom, y'all.
You know what I
I'm
mean?
at the very bottom of this list. I'm literally at the very bottom of the list.
Oh my god.
Wow. So then that there just goes to show, Brother Che, is that white America once again does not give a damn about us as a people. Is because if they did, man, you should have been the first one right there, man, or at least in the top 3 as far as revenue generation is concerned. Okay, because your platform is black first. So quite naturally, of course, they don't like that, and you sticking to your guns, which I greatly admire and respect. But that even goes to prove the point even further. We looked at subhuman in this country.
Wait. But we can't blame it all on them, Shabaka, because we watched personally how our own people don't even fucking. They say that, but they're not. They're doing the same thing these people are doing. They shadow.
Well, you're right about that.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
yeah,
Like it. No, you're absolutely right about that, Lady Che, because Jeff Fart, he's a classic example of that. You see what I mean? And so once again is that slave mentality, like Samuel L. Jackson did in Django. You see what I mean? And really that's the problem. Yes, sir. And then of course, like what happened with Mr. Nichols there in Memphis, Tennessee, the mindset of those Negroes. You see what I'm saying? And it's just bad. And as Dr. Marimba Ani said, these are all elements of the Ma'afa, which is a tragedy or an event that is so bad that it is beyond description. Like what happened, with Mr. Nichols and Trayvon Martin. Those are tragedies beyond description. But carry on. I'm sorry, my bad. Carry on.
I would describe this shit that we just here going through as a mouth.
I'm at the very bottom.
Like extreme tragedy. Like it's sad. It's so sad.
I'm at the very bottom of the list. So we got Kelly Bra.
Oh God.
She done raised, including her elections money, $7,556,963.37. After her is Leslie Harrod. She's raised over $500,000, $576,034.36. We got the neo-Nazi.
Wait. Wait. You forgot something. And she got the endorsement of Mayor.
Oh God, yeah.
So therefore, that puts her ahead of fucking the Nazi.
The Nazi
okay, she got the endorsement of who?
Wellington Webb.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's
he was Denver's first black mayor, if I recall, if memory serves me correct. Yes. I think he was the mayor there in the late 80s, early 90s.
Early 90s.
He was the mayor before Hickenlooper.
Yeah.
When Wellington Webb is having a whole discussion, he endorsing her, he giving the endorsement, he's talking on the thing. Wellington Webb looked so fucking distraught. His eyes were watering. He looked like he was gonna cry. Like he didn't want to be there. He was trying to distance himself between her and the person that was giving the interview. I swear, if you pull that his little freckles and his face and his eyes were welling up. You know what I mean? But not because he just for what he's just like he's like man, I really gotta be here to have this discussion kind of thing. Like it looked like he was forced to be there. Real
yeah.
Real
wow.
Run that footage, Kelly. I'm not lying. I listen to words.
After damn Leslie, it's the damn neo-Nazi.
Mm-hmm.
After him, it's Mike Johnston.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Johnston
Right.
raised just on his own $317,461.56. Oh, he got some fair election money in there.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, Brother Che. Aren't you supposed to get fair election money?
I didn't get the 250 required donations.
And he withdrew.
Oh, okay. Damn, man. And then, of course, brother, it's systemic what they did, against you anyway.
Yeah, big time.
Because,
Debbie
and
Ortega, she got $276,418.67. Chris Hansen got $259,941.00. Ian Tafoya, which is a good friend of mine, he got $126,194.94. Lisa Calderon, our Kamala Harris, she raised $115,340.80. Trinidad Rodriguez, he raised $112,795.19. Thomas Wolf, he raised $107,694.70. The Ops, Terrence Roberts, raised $81,384.24. Alex Valdez, who dropped out, he raised $47,246. James Walsh, $14,741.99. Aurelio Martinez, $7,484.98. Anna Burrell, who dropped out, she raised $3,224. Al Gardner raised $3,500, and at the very bottom, as usual, myself, Jesse LaShawn Paris, $2,403.
Okay, can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man, and I know you guys are there, in extreme cold.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But if you can say, man, take you like about $1,000 of that, push you up some flyers, man, and go to Labor Ready, right? Now here's what you do. But you got to watch these little rascals, okay?
Yeah.
And go to Labor Ready, and you want to find the dude in there who did not get hired for that day, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And what you got to do is put some flyers in his hand, maybe you or Lady Che, and be sure to go out there and watch that bastard, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And, well, I don't mean to call a person a bastard, but go out and watch this individual and say, look, man, we know it's cold out here, but we need you to go out here and start handing these flyers out, okay? And the cold part about it is, if it's a black person, they're going to associate it with black first, okay? Which is a beautiful thing. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just looking at a strategic move, and have them down there, man, in the middle of rush hour doing it, and depending on what your weather is, have them out there, like say, for about 4 hours.
Yeah.
Just say, but at least that way there, he's going to get some money in his pocket for that day, you see, and quite naturally, of course, screen the individual, see if he's unhoused, make sure, he's not UI or under the influence. What he does in his off hours is his business. This person is grown. Well, of course, we don't wish that he do it. If he does, you see what I'm saying? And that's showing it how you taking it to the people, and do a live feed as you doing it. You know what I'm saying? And say, hey, and all you career politicians, how come this is how you get in real touch with the people? It's a shot in the dark, man, considering it, it's a shot in the dark.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Consider it, weigh it out.
Mm-hmm.
And weigh it out, and then, and you're an intelligent man, you're an educated man, And if you say to me, well, hey, Shabaka, I thought about it, man, I don't think it's frivolous, brother. Ain't no love lost, but I'm just thinking, at the last minute point, because, you only got so much time. You see what I mean?
Right. Yeah, we down to the
Yeah,
last
so
2 months.
we're down to the last what?
Last 2 months.
Okay, there should be plenty of enough time for you to make a difference. But even if you don't make it, Mr. Mayor, at least you're raising the conscious level. And then when the next public seat comes up for election, man, go after it.
Right.
Because
So,
you are qualified, because you got a bachelor degree in law, you know what I'm saying? And then, of course, as we do know, that the representatives, or the politicians, as they commonly refer to, are the ones that create the laws. You see what I'm saying? So that's just a suggestion.
Okay. All right. So I got one more video to play in regards to this. And this is
yes, sir.
We're just talking about.
Okay. So are you guys going to be able to make Shabaka's Black Experience Enhance this afternoon in about less than 2 hours?
Yes.
Rougeau, a Republican
okay.
who put $2 million of his own money into the race, is campaigning on some statements that are really easily debunked.
My name is Andy Rougeau, and I'm running for mayor to fight for Denver's future. But mayoral candidate Andy Rougeau is currently in a battle with the truth. In just one recent interview on George Brockler's talk radio show, Rougeau racked up a whopping 7 false claims. Because when you look at me versus all the other candidates, who are all career politicians, the difference is
47 false claims.
Not true. Rougeau packed 2 falsehoods into one sentence. He's not the only candidate in the race who isn't a career politician. Not even close. Of the 17 candidates for Denver mayor, 2/3 of them are new or relatively new to politics. Rougeau's claim that he's the only candidate saying he'll enforce the camping ban is also not true. Here are the candidates at a recent event, raising their hands to say they enforce.
You see, my hand didn't go up.
Here's candidate Trini Rodriguez talking about expanding enforcement of the camping ban.
whether they're ready for it or not.
Rougeau then dropped another whopper.
Because I'm the only candidate with actual business experience in this race.
Candidate Kelly Brough ran the Denver Metro Chamber of Commerce. Candidate Kwame Spearman is the CEO of Tattered Cover Bookstores. Candidate Thomas Wolf is an investment banker. Candidate Aurelio Martinez has run a restaurant and a business center. Candidate Robert Trita is a developer.
No, I've owned and operated a business in Denver for 27 years, building residential homes and commercial projects.
Speaking of building, Rougeau constructed another false claim that people who have built homes are waiting a year for a certificate of occupancy to move in.
Yeah, a year of people waiting for a stamp from the government to be able to move into a home that's already finished.
That's not true. Denver does have big delays getting building projects approved. But once the build is finished, Community Planning and Development says the final sign-off and certificate of occupancy, that comes in 1 or 2 business days. Rougeau also falsely blamed Denver's pedestrian deaths on jaywalking by people experiencing homelessness.
When we're having a spike of pedestrian deaths, mostly caused by homeless individuals cutting across busy streets.
The medical examiner statistics show that most pedestrians killed in 2022 were not homeless. Same for 2021 and 2020. The statistics Rougeau
Okay, so you caught him in a lie.
Other causes of death mixed in, like suicides and falls. Rougeau's wildest claim involves Denver's matching funds for political campaigns.
So I'm proud I'm the only candidate who is not taking that funding.
That's not true. There are 4 candidates who don't get matching funding. Rougeau claimed without offering that there are mayoral candidates who are paying themselves salaries out of those funds. Denver election says that would violate campaign finance law.
So we are
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, you need Sergeant Friday on him. Yeah. Yeah.
Joe then told us the money's being hidden through payroll companies. Both campaigns using a payroll company provided copies of their payroll forms for us to examine. We found no evidence to back up Rougeau's claim, which Denver election says it would investigate if he wants to name names and put it in writing.
Ooh.
we should acknowledge that is one of the longest fact check segments that we have ever had on 9 News. We've been fact checking political candidates. To be honest with you, it's the first time we've encountered 7 obviously false statements in a politician's single public appearance.
Damn. That's horrible.
Stamp your W-2 and file Fed and state for free.
That's the neo-Nazi.
And you sure this isn't the city of Los Angeles that they're talking about?
No,
my. Wow, the hypocrisy is real. You know, so once again, you know, they pulling out their Johnsons, pissing on people's heads, telling them it's rain. They're defecating on people, telling them that it's snow. Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
The audacity. Lady Tay, what are your thoughts? Lady Tay. Lady Tay.
I'm right here, man. My mouse was acting stupid. I told you I got twisted in my hair. What did I think was? Look, why do you ask me, Jesse? Shit, like, why do you do this to me, man? Like, this motherfucker. First of all, man, it like, you know, Kyle Clark's a fucking fool. Like, that fool right there, Kyle Clark, man, he's like a straight villain. But he's telling it. I mean, is that gonna change anything? No. Right? He's not gonna change shit. It's gonna be like one in one ear, out the next, and motherfuckers by Wednesday of next week won't even remember that motherfucker had 7. He spoke out of pocket 7 times or more, and he did it with a straight face.
Wow.
So they ain't gonna care. You know what I mean? They're not gonna care.
Because he's white and he says so.
Because he's white and he says so, right? Right. But if you do it, it's gonna be a real issue, okay? So just for our own fucking moral sanity, because I kind of checked out right there when he was talking. I was like, oh my god, like this shit is just upsetting me to the fullest because, you know, I'm rude as a motherfucker, dude. I don't have no fucking understanding for why we even read this shit and why we talk about it, because it's just fucking whack and it's a sign. And I'm like, God, man, can you please, Jesse, can we please, Lord, help us, right? This is like, cause obviously, like this is fucked up. They don't even mention you, and you were there. You know what I mean? Don't mention you. All they care about is, like, all I've noticed is that because you didn't make the ballot or whatever. Everybody who's made the ballot, they're considered somebody, but it's like they shamed the only motherfucker that really mattered.
Yeah,
and the motherfuckers actually know, and it actually does the work. They disrespect it, and we kind of want to blame the fact that, you know, our fucking people were just on that list too. Yeah. You know what I mean? Not just the media, but you know, like we couldn't even I don't know what the fuck, you know. So at this point in time, my thought process can't say that Team Paris didn't do their job. It's the anti-black racism and motherfucking comfortability is just winning, and everybody wants to, you know, jump on the bandwagon of fucking democracy and fucking democratic pretty duck talking points and pandering themselves, but none of them are gonna actually do the right thing. So it's gonna be 4 more years of fucking nothing. So that's all I gotta say. You got one chance to change and have a whole motherfucking change of dynamics, or you got 17 fucking chances for the same shit. Your choice. You're gonna choose the 17. I'm gonna sit back and go cry afterwards. You know what I mean? Like that's how I see April 4th. You know what I mean? Because that's the way it's going to be. Look at all the shadow banning and motherfucking obstacles and motherfucking what do you call it?
But
galvanizing a motherfucking.
Shout out to the Urban Spectrum. Shout out to the Urban Spectrum. I gotta show y'all this.
Yeah, shout out to Urban Spectrum. Put my bestie in a magazine one day. Yeah.
And for putting me in there.
Oh my God. Is that you? Okay, go ahead. Carry on. What did it say, Jesse?
It says, Jesse LaShawn Paris is a social justice advocate with a background in criminal justice. He has a criminology and criminal justice degree from MSU Denver. He has advocated for those without housing, worked with Occupy Denver, and was a member of Denver Homeless Out Loud. In 2019, Paris ran for city council at large position. His platform is to advocate for Blacc. They hit me with that black and brown. Oh my God. It says Black and brown populations, which include issues such as housing, fixing sidewalks, and replacing police with friendly, compassionate, and empathetic agencies. He shows up frequently at city council meetings. The candidate's website is jessedenvermayor.com. We lost Shabaka. I think we have three more topics, and they're all unhouse related except for Randall's. Lady Chair, are you still with me?
If I must be, man, I don't understand why we do this. Why we do this to me? Why, Jesse? Why?
Well, the next topic is Randall's.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to Randall. Denver 7 gives $15,000 for Randall's restaurant in Denver. And here's the video.
A restaurant in Denver's coal neighborhoods hit a rough patch. The pandemic hit, of course, and then the owner recently had a stroke. They're in danger of closing, but our viewers are stepping in to keep that from happening. Denver 7's Mike Smith tonight.
1 week ago, when we first met Randall Bourne, owner of Randall's Restaurant and Bar.
Tradition, New Orleans food, old boys, gumbo, red beans and rice.
Randall revealed he was struggling financially after COVID setbacks and having a stroke. Staff here jumped into action to help.
You got some kind of background.
Okay, background noise.
Yeah.
Okay.
They didn't know where I was at.
Okay, what about now?
It's like it's echoing.
It's
I can
echoing.
hear myself.
Huh. Okay.
Hey.
Everybody else, General 7 is best.
Now he has a fighting picking up Southern Comfort.
Okay, what about now?
No, it's still going.
Okay.
No, it's still going.
The background is still going?
Yes, like I can.
Hold on.
Yes, like I can. I can hear my.
It's echoing.
Yeah.
Okay, what about now?
Mic check 1 2 1 2. I still hear it.
Okay, you still hear it?
Yeah.
And it's like a hum, you say?
No, it's like I'm echoing. Like I can hear myself.
Okay,
in the background.
Huh. Okay, alrighty. All right, let me disengage and re-engage. Okay.
Okay. All right, Lady Che.
Talk to you. What do I gotta say about that? Congratulations. I hope it doesn't turn out to be like a Wellness Street Cafe thing. I hope you stay over there. Hope everything work out. And damn, I hadn't seen Denver 7 give anybody money in a long time, especially black people. So we must celebrate that. You know? Or you don't? Do you in disagreement? The last time
No,
they,
I'm in full support of this.
I'm like, when the last time Denver 7 really made that kind of contribution to the East Side? Like, let's
It's been
keep
a
it
while.
100. It's been a while, a long while, right?
Yeah.
I feel like, come on now. But I just think that that's probably some some philanthropist that may or may not go unmentioned. His way of chiming in to try to help and be relevant later on down the line. When he needs to. Like, it's obviously that let's celebrate it, but there's somebody else made that happen. You know what I mean? Someone else made that happen because they've been eating Randall's all week. Come on now.
Mm,
Like, you know what I mean? Like, am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong for saying that. I don't know. Maybe
no.
it sounds like a little petty, but I don't know. It's good though because the brother needed it. But
Yeah.
at some level, this will be this will be a topic like later on, like a few months. Well, I helped him, blah 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 blah. And if it
Nah.
wasn't for me using my motherfucking connections, da, 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 da,
Mm,
I'm the man of the city, kind of shit. You know what I mean?
uh,
Yeah. And while we're over here, let's order some mac and cheese and collard greens.
mhm.
You feel me? Like, and for 7 donations, could get my friend or the one sitting next to me and these two right here play too. Who gonna buy their lunch? Is that what we're doing now, America? Is that what we're doing? Denver? We just buy motherfucking heathens lunches and shit so they can have fucking stupid ass fucking contradicting fucking menacing motherfucking comments at 2 o'clock every Monday through Friday. Talking about,
Mm,
I know
mm.
somebody paid for mine. Bitch, is that the only time you eat? Like, for real. I'm just saying. I mean, this is pretty well fucking it's pretty much what's going on every time there's the crew's in the building. It's the same motherfucking 3 people.
Are you talking about the alleged free thinkers?
I don't know who I'm talking about because it don't matter who I'm talking about. You already know who I'm talking about. It doesn't matter. But I'm just saying. Okay? Is it not making sense to you though?
Yeah.
Okay then. Like, why you do that? That was bad. You know what I'm talking about. They know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. 7 donations a day will get you and your 3 fucking friends who co-sign on my bullshit. Randall's. Powered by the people. You feel me? All right,
Oh,
anyway, moving along.
moving along.
Ah.
So, yeah, congratulations to Randall.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, we'll be able to get
Congratulations,
down
Randall.
there sometime this month or next month and get some of that good old Cajun seafood cooking down south.
I'm only
Cooking.
going there now because it's a thing. Because remember, you didn't want to take me down there, so just saying, just saying.
Anyway, that's
I
not
knew
true
it.
because I was a frequent patron of Randall's.
Mm-hmm.
So, I believe Randall's a Katrina refugee too.
Mm-hmm.
But our last 2 topics of the afternoon, Black family, are the unhoused neighbor news and the unhoused neighbor sweeps.
Oh man.
So the news is, the sweeps continue. We've brought in 2023 with sweeps,
Mm-hmm.
and now there's a sweep just about every week. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm still on the email list, so I'll do my best to relay the information to Lady Che when there's a sweep scheduled. As soon as I get it, I'll forward it to her.
And look, I
And
don't go sweeps in the east side. I don't go sweeps anywhere else because who knows what the fucking traffic and the fact that they just don't give simple directions. They gotta have a whole motherfucking 4 mile motherfucking radius that I don't know where it's at and I have to figure it out. So yeah, those ones where I know it's pretty much right around the east side. Where I'm familiar with. or Colfax or whatever. You know what I mean? So yeah, carry on. And to put this way, it's like pulling teeth, trying to figure it out with anybody because nobody wants to do the right thing and help us by knowing exactly where it is. You know what I mean? So we can get down and
Yeah.
actually advocate on time.
Right.
So yeah, go ahead.
So they're still doing the sweeps, no stop in sight, and they had the point in time count. Now we've covered numerous times on Frontline Black News that the point in time count is a flawed count. It's where they go out for a day or two. They have little teams of like 30 people, go out and survey the scene and report on. I believe they have people take a survey that's unhoused. They report the data back, and that's how they calculate how many unhoused are on the streets of Denver. They do this in every major metropolitan area the same time every year. So Denver's has come out, and it's not looking good. I'm gonna play this video from 7 News, the same ones that just awarded Randall's with $7 million. And you be the judge. Have we done better?
That's not even the question. That's not even the right question to ask. Okay, go ahead. That's not even the right question.
No benefits, no nothing. I've tried everything and I'm getting doors slammed in my face every turn.
A growing number of people struggling to survive on Denver streets. How would you describe homelessness in Denver right now?
Homelessness in Denver is at an emergency point.
Tens of millions being spent to address the crisis, but how much of a difference does it actually make?
We need folks to come up with ways to house people safely, but less expensively, and lots more of it.
Tonight, we are going in depth, breaking down how your tax dollars are being spent to help Denver's unhoused.
Here's Denver 7 investigative reporter Jennifer Kovalevsky.
Don't nobody like homeless.
Let's talk about what it's like living on the streets in the city we love.
Don't nobody talk to you. You speak to people, they turn their nose up at you.
Keith Barhan's done it for 11 long years.
Just never knowing when your next meal gonna come at, when you get to take a shower. Yeah, it's bad.
It's an uncomfortable side effect of a city that's become too expensive. A city at the center of a housing crisis.
How are you supposed to live? And even if I did afford an apartment, I couldn't afford to feed myself.
Year after year, Denver's homeless population keeps growing, despite the city spending more money on the problem. Denver's seen a more than 40% increase in its homeless count in 5 years.
So the problem that we're addressing is worse.
The city's latest point-in-time survey, which captures just a snapshot on one night in January, counted nearly 5,000 homeless people living in Denver last year. Denver budgeted $152 million to help the unhoused in 2022, roughly $32,000 per homeless person. Is it making a difference?
A little bit, but we are still so far. So we're putting hundreds of millions of dollars at $1 billion problem that is growing.
Benjamin Dunning lived on Denver streets and now works for the nonprofit Homeless Out Loud. What do you think is the biggest misconception about the homeless problem in Denver?
That it has to do with individual people's actions. I mean, it has to do with the cost of housing. Denver's spending what they can, but it isn't enough.
Denver 7 Investigates analyzed the city's finances. Going back to 2019, Denver has more than doubled its budget for housing and homeless. The city plans to spend $180 million in 2023, 19% more than last year.
It's being spent better, but the truth of the matter is the solution to homelessness is housing. Every dollar that is spent outside of getting people inside, I think is misappropriated.
The city says a little over half of its budget this year will go to housing. The rest will fund shelters and services, with 7% paying for administrative costs. And therein lies the problem.
One of the major things that most cities do is they try to hide homelessness rather than to house homelessness.
Critics that we've spoken to have questioned why the city spends so much money hiding the homeless problem.
I think the purpose of shelter is to provide a humane response to people who are in a housing crisis. I don't see it as hiding.
Britta Fisher was Denver's chief housing officer at the time of this interview. She believes the city needs to fund both housing and shelters, not one or the other. How do you balance the money you're spending on shelters and then the money that's being spent on housing?
I would say it's one of our greatest struggles right now.
Other cities have found more of a balance. The city of Houston went all in on a data-based housing-first approach. It's moved more than 25,000 homeless people directly into apartments and housing, cutting Houston's homeless population by 63% since 2011.
They have not spent much on shelter, and they have put it all towards housing, which that's great.
Why can't all of the money go towards housing in Denver?
I don't think it's acceptable for us to say it's okay for people to be dying outside. And I don't think the people of Denver find that okay. They have a different climate.
Denver does focus on a housing-first approach, but with the city still budgeting nearly half of its money on shelters and services, it makes it harder to make a dent in the issue.
Instead of them just sitting up there, putting all this money into these shelters that's not working.
For people like Keith, living on our city's streets, he just wants any place to call home.
Give me an RV. I'll live in there.
And Denver's housing leader believes the city can do better. Can you ever really end homelessness?
I believe we can. And I know we can because we've seen it happen in communities.
Britta Fisher left her job with the city earlier this week. She's now the new CEO of the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless. Denver's new mayor, who will be elected later this year, could make significant changes to how the city helps the homeless. I'm Denver 7 investigative reporter Jennifer Blacc.
That's me. I'm gonna make some serious fucking changes.
Exactly.
All be audited. Every last one of these service providers needs to be audited. Where's the money going? Are the people actually that need the money? Is it reaching the people that need the money? Are these services actually helping the people that actually need the services?
Right. But I think what they're doing is, and with me being an old bird growing up in the cities in Los Angeles, there's some type of fuckery that's going on there, man. That's clearly obvious.
Clearly.
Yeah, that's clearly obvious. And the reason why they're giving you such a hard time and trying to marginalize you is because, see, what you're doing is, man, you pulling back behind, you pulling the curtain. Like in Wizard of Oz, where the fool says, don't pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Yeah, you see, that's what you're doing. You pulling the curtain back. You see what I mean? On these tricks, you know what I'm saying? And you calling them what they are, a bunch of crooks, a bunch of opportunists, and particularly that Jeff Fart. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't have no respect for Jeff Fart.
No.
And I'm making it plain. And hey, Jeff, you are welcome to call in today, man. And in about 90 minutes at 516-418-5996. Okay, you could call in as long as you're respectful. We'll have you there. I will not treat you like how you treat me. I will not treat you like how you treat Brother Paris. And Pianki, you out there with your sorry ass lurking and whatnot. Your sorry ass can call in too. And Pianki, it is an RBG house that you're calling in. So you and Sarge, if he decides to call in once you guys going to have to leave your self-hatred at the door. And once again, we don't have no problem of kicking your ass off the air.
Right.
You see? But if you're coming in there and act respectful, you can come in with your cognitive dissonance and your self-hatred, but you're not going to talk about us. You're not going to raise your voice. Okay, we will listen to you, although we know that 95% of what you're saying, Pianki, is bullshit. But we'll get a good laugh off of your ass scratching, chicken pecking Uncle Tom ass. Boss, we sick. What's the matter, boss? We sick, boss? Yeah, Pianki, we would love to have your sorry ass. We really would.
Watching this video, interesting.
Who's watching the video?
Just more to the video.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was it. So we're going on at 4 p.m. out Pacific.
Yes, sir. It will be 4 p.m. In the Pacific. We are 1 hour and 20 minutes away, sir.
Okay, great.
Mhm.
And going further
And
now, it is such a struggle in Colorado to get people who don't have permanent housing into housing, and the solutions just vary wildly.
And now 2 cities have found the path forward, looking to replicate successful solutions found outside of the metro. So let's start with Aurora. Last November, Aurora City Council approved the creation of a $50 million campus. And the concept is based on a work-first model implemented in Colorado Springs. The campus will provide homeless services and job training to help people get back on their feet. But to get long-term help, they would need to agree to certain conditions, like getting job training and staying off drugs.
I don't know whose plan that sounds like. Damn, they're word for word.
There's Kaufman.
But when it comes to
Like, I don't know whose brilliant motherfucking idea that was. But it sounds almost word for word.
Housing first model produced in Houston. It focuses on getting those unhoused into housing before getting a job or before getting sober. The city invites people to housing navigation centers, which connect them to housing.
That part that didn't come from my brain.
Homes, safe camping sites, set up to act as a bridge.
None of that shit is.
Now,
My way better.
housing first requires having enough affordable housing, which, as you know, is in short supply in Denver. The city has allocated $254 million in the budget this year for housing, which will go toward reaching its goal of 19,000 affordable units by 2026.
That's half of what you get the police.
yeah.
That's less than half of what you get the police.
Wow. Well, it's quite obvious
Or more than half,
where they
excuse
need
me.
to shift them.
Because they giving them almost $600 million.
$600 million.
Denver's worse. Denver's way worse.
No, that's what Denver's doing. Denver is giving the police.
Yeah, but they're talking about Aurora. That was Aurora.
No, but I'm talking about Denver.
Okay, no, you're right. You're right. Go ahead.
Denver is giving the police almost $600 million.
And they put how much towards housing?
$254 million.
Denver did?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see where their priorities are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, it sounds like they need some recalls in there in Denver. Yeah. Yeah, they need some recalls on all those career politicians in there is because it's quite obvious that they're not doing their job.
Right.
And then when somebody such as yourself wants to do the right thing, they want to sit up there and ostracize you. They want to sit up there and ridicule you.
Yeah.
And you're hanging tough. And that woman there in that picture right there makes me want to vomit, who was standing to the right. And another sick individual. Yeah, the woman standing there, what is that? Oh, that's the left. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, she makes me want to vomit. And but it is what it is, you know what I mean? And then from what I understand, sources is telling me that Joe Biden is getting ready to dump her ass too in his re-election campaign, and Biden will not be re-elected.
We're still waiting on you, Biden. There's the number.
And there's right there. And you Biden supporters can call in about the next hour and 20 minutes right there at that phone number right there. We'll be happy to have you, and just show me what he has done of some significance. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And keep in mind that Shabaka's Black Experience enhances a division of Frontline Black News. So it is definitely a pro-Black agenda, you know what I mean? And so we're just putting a warning out there for you, so guys like Sergeant Pianki, you're going to have to come there to our platform with your hats in your hand. You pretty much. And as soon as you get disrespectful, we will show you the door. And as you very well know, Bianchi, we've kicked your ass off a couple of times.
Yep.
I was in error the last time that you got exited. I went on about 3 to 4 platforms to apologize to you. You refuse my apology, and then you come with your cognitive dissonance. So, Bianchi, I really feel sorry for you, man. I really do, because of your self-hatred. Same thing with Sarge, too. Sarge gets up there and says that he is so proud to have the tainted blood cells of the slave trader. Wow, that
Lord,
is incredible.
that is
And then,
horrible.
of course, as we know, that the great Frederick Douglass beat the living dog shit out of the raping slave trading pedophile that violated his mother, and Freddie D had to get up out of Maryland. And Freddie D came through San Francisco, and they do have a housing project named, after
Housing
Frederick
project.
Douglass.
Yeah.
hmm And
So, let's start giving our closing so we can get ready for the blog talk.
yes, sir. Okay, my closing statements is more power to Jesse Paris of what he does. Feeding the homeless. Monitoring. The encampment sweeps. Which are inhumane by the city of Denver. Mayor Hancoon, 2 words I got to say to you are fuck you, and go jump through a rolling donut, man. And Mayor Hancoon, please go play out on the expressway. Please do it at rush hour and do the public a service. Because Mayor Hancock, you ain't shit. And
Nope.
you too, Mayor Hancock, you're welcome to call in the number 2 at 516-418-5996. And then, of course, we want to give a shout out there, to the anchor man, the one and only Ramel Understand It. You know what I'm saying? And we appreciate, his great knowledge and his great input and what have you. And we thank everybody there for tuning in here at Frontline Black News here on StreamYard. And definitely check us out there at Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. And we'll be live at 516-418 5996 in 1 hour, 17 minutes.
Okay.
That's my closing statement.
We'll see you there. Lady Che, what are your closing statements?
I would just have to say, stay black, stay dangerous, and this week is gonna be pretty eventful for us. We got a lot of stuff going on this week. And I'm almost done with my little updates that I'm making on the website. So I'm like stupid exhausted. And that's about it. I'm gonna go. I need to put some fluids in my body, so I feel like dehydrated. So I'm gonna go regroup and eat and stuff and get myself together so I can actually do my work and whatever I got going on today. Other than that, so I feel like please, family, please just make the right decision, because if not, I don't want to hear no complaints. In like 8 months or whenever 8 months into whoever's term that you're unhappy because you had a chance. You know what I mean? So stay black, stay dangerous, and Jesse, of course, Jesse is always going to be the mayor to us. He's always going to be the mayor to us. So there you go.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yes. So, my closing is 4 years ago, Denver, you said that we can do better. Well, it's been 4 years, Denver, and we're not doing better. We're doing worse. So if you're tired of the rhetoric and the empty promises, support Team Paris for Denver mayor. We are right in. You have to write in Jesse Paris for Denver mayor. March 14th. The ballots are going to be mailed out March 14th, pending this lawsuit. You know, all this could change, but we'll find out tomorrow. So we'll keep y'all updated on that. And in the meantime, make sure that you check us out on our other platforms, the Revolutionary Agenda, Black Experience Enhanced, which is going to be starting in a little over an hour, and support the new Black media. Period. I mean, all of them. We are the voice of the people, and we are telling the real. No chase, no cap. So, make sure you like and subscribe to Frontline Black News. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Revolutionary Agenda, and make sure you like and follow Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced on Twitter and Facebook. So, peace, love, light, reparations, and separations.
Intangibles.
Intangibles. Yes, sir. Indeed.
So thank y'all for tuning in to season 2, episode 44, part 2, because we didn't get all the way through part 1. So this is part 2 of the Frontline Black News. And we'll be back next Saturday to give y'all an update on these debates. Debates are this week. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that. Tap into that. I'll be going live as much as I can. So make sure y'all tune into that. Peace.
Peace.
Always.